560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents the Neil Rogers
Show.
To talk to Neil, call 567-0560, toll free for Dade and Broward, or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
There's no fact in the church.
Yes. I like it when the guys stop by for a Hummer. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Remember when you got that Hummer? New kids on the block really have small Chinese Jews have no. I unzip their flies when the guys stop by for a Hummer. For a Hummer. I like guys who start at only 1 inch. It stretches when they make their wish. 'Cause it gets long from my Hummer. Big one, Daddy, stick it in my hand. I gave you a Hummer and it all began. You had the biggest one that I ever did see. It fell to the floor when you tried to pee. When you unzip, I can't help but want it. But it's so big that you just have to flaunt it. You've wet my whistle with that big thing, baby. Halfway down my throat, man, it drives me crazy. Now I think about you and it makes me sad. You went away and never came back. I gave you a Hummer and you went back home. Macaulay Culkin was the size of your bone. I felt deep in love when you gave me a beating. Now I'm a little bitch like Alex P. Keaton. When I met you, I knew that you were thick. It really doesn't matter the size of your stick. Your kids on the block really have small Chinese Jews have no. I unzip their flies when the guys stop by for a Hummer.
Yes.
For a Hummer.
10:02 at 560 WQM. Happy Monday to you. Guess what? Oh, that's right. They got the Pro Bowl coming up. I was going to say that was the last football game of the whole. Oh! Yeah, thank God. Great game, though, with a horrendous, unacceptable ending. Unacceptable. Although I think we learned a lot yesterday. Didn't we learn a lot?
Uh-huh.
That the reason that all these horrible things and people that pray, like Cassie Brunel, that girl in the school over there in Colorado, all these people that are praying to Jesus and God, he doesn't have time for you. He's busy with a football. That's right. God and Jesus, they're both busy, which I guess it's the same kind of, sort of. They're busy with football. Kurt Warner and Bruce Isaac, the two worst God Squad assholes, they hook up for the winning touchdown. Unacceptable. And then you could see the hand of God reach out when that poor kid is trying to reach out there in the line with 2 seconds left in the game and get that ball to the goal line. Just get it over to break the plane, baby. Break the plane.
No.
And God reached out and just smacked his hand, just slapped him right in the puss. Said, no way, Jose. And his name wasn't even Jose. Well, God gets confused. But God is busy in those football games. And then, of course, Kurt Warner comes there after the game. Oh, and Jesus, my Lord and Savior. Oh, man. Do I hate people like that or what? I mean, believe whatever crap you want to believe. I don't care what you believe. But why do you have to keep, like the Bruce Isaac crap I read on Friday, about how he's so much better than everybody else. Isaac Bruce, whatever the hell, Gary Bruce. Guys with two names, what difference does it make which one you put first? That's the price you pay. What do I call him? I don't care what his goddamn name is. Oh, yeah, well, when he prays, he calls out the name of Jesus. He's invulnerable. And you could almost hear it from the sideline just when it looked like Tennessee was going to tie it up there at the end. He said, Jesus, no! And that ball just went bushwhacked back from the goal line. What a bunch of assholes. And these people are brutal, man. Brutal. Even Joe Rose stopped by to tell me how grotesque the audience was on the worst team this morning, and we punched it up in the last few minutes and are at it again, ripping poor Kurt Warner's wife, who's a cancer victim, just because she had that real dykey haircut and looked like a real bull dyke in heat. She's a cancer victim. She had chemo. Her hair didn't grow back yet. Now, have I said that she looked real dykey and that she looked like a real bull dyke in heat? Yeah, but it's bad. It's in bad taste. Because she was a cancer person and she had chemo and her hair hasn't grown back. Of course, she could have worn a wig. She could have worn like a hat. She could have done anything to look a lot less dykey. But she looked like oh, man. Didn't she? She looked like Lily Tomlin's girlfriend on a bad day. But that's just the way it goes. What goes around comes around. It's all over. It's over. By the way, how about those commercials?
They stunk.
Yeah, most of them did. Now, Joe was giving me a song to dance about some. I must have missed those because I was channel surfing, especially in the first half. First half, you must admit, was pretty ponderous. I mean, really weak. So I missed a few of the spots. The one with Muhammad Ali made me want to cry. That's how bad that spot was. I mean, what was? Yeah, we know you got Parkinson's. You can't breathe, and you barely can move, and you're shaking all over the place. I don't even know what the spot was for. What was it for?
Healthcare.
Web spastic web healthcare, something like that. Webspaz.com. All of those .com spots, and even the eTrade.com, which has got the great one. Why didn't they use that one on there that we've seen 50 million times with the broad with the purple schmott and the two strange hooters? Hold, Debbie, Debbie, Debbie. Oh, that's my favorite. That's one of the great. And did they put that on there?
No.
No, they spent. In fact, the one. What was it? Was it that one or was it one of the others? So, douchebag.com. It says, "We just wasted $2 million. How are you handling your money?" You didn't see that one? Yeah, in other words, meaning this was the worst piece of crap spot you ever saw in your life. How you doing with your money? And invest with us. I'm sorry. Like most of those spots, I mean, even if they're amusing at the time, they don't leave anything with you. You don't walk away thinking, oh, yeah, that spot was for whoever the hell it was for, and I'm going to go out and use their service or their product or something like that. Shocking, astonishing, tragic. By the way, Godfathers was very good on Friday. Oh! It would have been a lot better if somebody wouldn't have given our good friend bad directions there, but he got lost. If that thing would have showed up here on time, see, the taco pizza is not the one to have delivered, which they don't deliver anyway, but that's not the one that travels well because he had to put the lettuce on here and then the other kind of cheese on top, and then you had to nuke it, which the bottom part was already cooked, so there's no way to even it out. But in spite of all that, it was still pretty good. So next time we get one. By the way, George is homesick, very, very, very sick with this damn flu, and of course his wife has been very sick. He was in the emergency room over the weekend. He's okay. But everybody's got real crap, man, real bad crap. Because God, he's too worried about that football game instead of taking care of our health. That piece of crap up there in the sky, wherever the hell he is, wherever he's hanging out. He's more worried about Kurt Warner and Bruce Isaac Bruce and Gary Bruce. That's what he's worried about. Bunch of dumb jocks. That's what God is concerned about. And Tom Green, by the way, is very, very pissed, speaking of the Internet, with all you morons out there that believe those rumors. When is this going to stop? When are we going to round up all the little infantile minds, which, believe me, we'd have to have a big institution to put them away? All these infants, these computer nerds who spend all of their time stirring up all these stupid, idiotic rumors on the Internet. Tom is wounded because there are so many jackasses out there who believe that he dressed up as Hitler at a bar mitzvah and he got canned by MTV, which is either one of those true?
No.
No. But when you live in that world of computer nerds, you assume automatically if you see it on the Internet, it must be true. I feel very bad for us that we have to put up with assholes like that. Then, of course, I've got 50,000 copies of this article about the priests. All these priests who are dying from AIDS. Must be a mistake. Yeah, right. And then, of course, we've got 75,000 articles. Great article by Tom Jicka and one by Carl Hyacin, one in each newspaper, about the E situation. Oh! Nice going there, boys. Excellent. In fact, Tom Jicka, please put the check in the mail, because it's another example of a column taken directly from this show. I mean directly. About 4, 6, 7, and 10. And the incessant drowning in a sea of Elián. I mean, just taken directly. Nice going, Tom. Could have mentioned my name, though. 8 minutes after 10 at 560 WQAM.
Only one South Florida radio station. And you're listening to it at Goldberg. Weekday afternoons at 2. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Where's my meat?
You've heard him squeak. You've heard him sing. Now the ferret talks dirty on a crystal clear digital recording that can now be yours. Listen to the dirty talk. Picture what he's doing to you. Let his words work their magic. It's the Ferret Talks Dirty. Available now for $69.95. Order today.
12 minutes after 10 at 560 WQAM. One of the perks of George still being out sick, which we don't wish him to be sick for a long time, is that Joe is here again today. So Joe can share with you all the stories about his big birthday party on Saturday. Oh! About the police showing up.
Oh! Yeah.
And, I mean, that conversation that you had with Clarence in there, I mean, I wish I had that on tape.
You were eavesdropping?
I didn't have to be eavesdropping. The door was open here and it went up, pop, 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 pop. Can I just ask you a question? I don't want to start knocking those guys, those sports nerd guys that we have, 50 million of them running around here, all have compulsive gambling problems and want to all be like Hank Jr. I mean, Hank Williams Jr. I mean, like Hank Goldberg Jr.
That was
kind of like that. But I mean, do any of these guys have like a girlfriend, like a relationship with another human being, because it sounded kind of like a junior high school conversation to me.
Not unlike a junior high school conversation with the arm sucking and whatnot. But
right.
One of them does, John Wiener.
Yeah, but John's got a wiener?
He's got the steady girlfriend.
Yeah.
All the others, not really.
And how old are these people? Like 24, 25, 26?
Mid-20s, sure.
Yeah, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31.
No one that old.
Okay.
Except for Boca Brian. He was the...
Boca Brian did not belong there. Boca Brian, when he comes in, I'm going to tear up his check. He did not belong there at your birthday party. That makes it sound like an old troll, you know? That's bad.
Oh, he was great. He was hilarious.
But he didn't belong there. And how would you know he was hilarious anyway? Because you were stoned out of your mind. So what difference does it make?
I was not stoned.
Yes, you were. Plastered. Plastered/stoned. I don't want to go into it now. We'll save it for later. So, by the way, Barry Jackass finally gets something right.
Oh!
Which goes to show if you write enough crap sooner or later, something's on target. You're right, Barry. The boomer blows. He blows. And every time they showed the boomer with Al Michaels in that booth yesterday in that game, it looked like Al wanted to jump out of his skin. Like, please, get the cameras off of us, and I'm embarrassed to be here. And please, I mean, and then the long shots, and this man has nothing to say. His best comment is that he's pathetic. The worst. The world's worst, the boomer. And they're having these conversations like a debate. Well, is he really, does it take a rocket scientist to figure out?
No.
He's an idiot. He's got nothing to say. He's got a personality like a dead man. You're weak, boomer. Take a hike, baby, so to speak, and get out of here. Get out of our puss. So here we have the first of 4,000 reports faxed to me, copies of this, which I did hear it and I did read it over the weekend. It must just be an aberration, you know, more of these isolated incidents. Kansas City, Missouri. Roman Catholic priests in the United States are dying from AIDS-related illnesses at a rate 4 times higher than the general population, and the cause is often concealed on their death certificate.
Oi!
According to a report in yesterday's Kansas City Star. In the first of a 3-part series, the newspaper said death certificates and interviews with experts indicated several hundred priests have died of AIDS-related illnesses since the mid-1980s, and hundreds more are living with HIV, the virus that causes the disease. I think this speaks to a failure on the part of the church, said Auxiliary Bishop Thomas Gumbleton of the Archdiocese of Detroit. Gay priests and heterosexual priests didn't know how to handle their sexuality, their sex drive, and so they would handle it in ways that were not healthy. The Star received 801 responses to questionnaires that were sent last fall to 3,000 of the 46,000 priests in the U.S. The margin of error in the survey was 3.5 points. 6 out of 10 priests responding said they knew of at least one priest who died of an AIDS-related illness, and 1/3 knew a priest living with AIDS. 3/4, 75% said the church needs to provide more education to seminarians on sexual issues. Now, this is great. 75% of them said the church needs to provide more education to seminarians on sexual issues, yet all these good-obedient Catholics, where do they go for counseling on marriage and hanky-panky and birth control and this and that? Where do they go? To their family priest.
There's no fact in the church.
Isn't that pathetic or what? When are you people going to wake up and sniff the daffodils? It isn't just that crazy fag on a radio telling you these things. It's the goddamn truth. Wait till we get to the stats on here. This is the best to show you what liars people are. How to be celibate and how to be gay at the same time. How to be celibate and how to be heterosexual at the same time. That's what we really never taught how to do, and that was a major failing, Gumbleton said. Asked about their sexual orientation, hang on tight now, 75% said they were heterosexual. Asked about their sexual orientation, 75% of these priests said they were heterosexual, 15% said they were homosexual, and 5% said they were bisexual. Let's see, 95, that leaves out 5%. Who I guess didn't have a or whatever. The Reverend John Keenan, who runs Trinity House, an outpatient clinic in Chicago for priests, said he believes most priests with AIDS contracted the disease through same-sex relations. He said he treated one priest who had infected 8 other priests. Oh! The Star said precise number of priests who have died of AIDS or have become infected with HIV is unknown, partly because many suffer in solitude. When priests tell their superiors, the cases generally are handled quietly. quietly. We're in the quiet period. The newspaper cited the case of Bishop Emerson Moore, who left the Archdiocese of New York in 1995 and went to Minnesota, where he died in a hospice of an AIDS-related illness. His death certificate attributed the death to unknown natural causes and listed his occupation as a laborer in the manufacturing industry. After an AIDS activist filed a complaint, officials changed the cause of death to HIV-related illness, the Star said, but the occupation was not corrected.
No.
The newspaper said the death rate among priests from AIDS appears to be at least 4 times that the rate for the general U.S. population. Some priests and behavioral experts believe the church has scared priests into silence by treating homosexual acts as an abomination and the breaking of celibacy vows as shameful, the Star said. Catholic cardinals in the United States and high-ranking church officials in the Vatican declined requests to discuss the newspaper's findings, the Star reported. The Vatican referred questions to local bishops. Bishop Raymond Bolin of the Diocese of Kansas City said the AIDS deaths show that priests are human. Much as we regret it, he said, it shows that human nature is human nature. And all of us are heirs to all of the misfortunes that can be foisted upon the human race. Did he have anything to say about the fact that they're covering it up?
No.
No. Or sweeping it under the carpet?
No.
Or that they lie a lot?
No.
Or that these people are totally unqualified to be counseling anybody on anything?
No.
No. Of course he didn't say that because it's bad for business. Oh, and we got one call on the board that's got 10 question marks on it. That's not a good sign, Joe. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I like to talk about the Panthers and Pablo Burr, how good he's doing.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Just got started right out of the box, and we've already got a chronic on there, a real jackass, a real
he's an asshole.
Idiot. Should have had 40 question marks next to that. I think it's going to be a good day for music. We can have Godfathers bring some more pizzas by today again. Oh, see, Joe's giving a thumbs up. I can't do that every day. That would be bad. Huh? That would be very bad. I mean, I've done very well. I've done amazingly well on losing this weight. Feeling great. That would be very bad to impose on them a second time here today. Of course, George isn't here today, so you never know. He might just be back tomorrow, and then we wouldn't want Joe to miss out again. And, of course, all the fiber and the, whatever that is, and the gluten in there. It's good to soak up all the booze from the birthday party on Saturday that all those prepubescent clowns from this radio station attended. I really am. I'm embarrassed. This is a place. This is like a grade school. It really is. It's like a kindergarten. All we need is a sandbox with a pail and a shovel. I mean, you can't complain about the maturity level here at QAM because it doesn't exist. There isn't any. It's like non-existent. A bunch of like little children. Billy J. Kramer once made a song about these people. Little chillins. Tom Jicker writes, television overkill victimizes Elián a second time. Nice going there, Tom. Never get the credit. Never, ever get the credit. These people, they steal and they steal from me. At least give me the credit. Like if we play somebody else's bit, don't I give them the credit? Bob and Tom, whoever the hell it is, even that bogus Castronova, whatever it might be. We give them credit. But not Tom.
He's bloody stupid!
Who says, 2 months of sound bites and fury have signified nothing in resolving the two vexing questions regarding Elian Gonzalez. No, not the issue of whether he should be returned to his father in Cuba or be permitted to stay with relatives in Miami. The really crucial, critical questions are, do the local TV stations realize how much their overheated, overblown coverage is dividing this community? Also, do they care? Do they care?
No.
If they haven't sensed the answer to the first question, they've got no business calling themselves journalists. Their continuing overkill coverage provides a resounding answer to the second question. The miraculous rescue of Elián from the sea on Thanksgiving Day is the kind of stirring tale that generally galvanizes a community in support and sympathy. So it was in the early days of this story. So it was. However, the subsequent excesses of local TV news have created an atmosphere in which a substantial number of South Floridians don't care where Elián goes as long as he goes away.
Oh!
Amen. In effect, says Tom, the news departments of channels 4, 6, 7, and 10 have re-victimized the youngster in their attempts to pander to a small group of zealots. Did he say 4, 6, 7, and 10? There is no disputing that it's a small group. There are more than 500,000 Cuban-Americans in South Florida, and even at the most crucial moments of the 2-month vigil outside Elián's little Havana home, there have rarely been more than a couple hundred demonstrators. Wednesday, correspondents on the scene of Elián's reunion with his grandmothers reported a crowd of about 100, allowing for plainclothes detectives and the like. Even this might have been a generous count. This does not mean that the rest of the Cuban-American community, the community at large for that matter, is indifferent to Elián's fate. It's just that most of South Florida has been able to keep the matter in perspective, something the local TV folks have been unable or unwilling to do.
Oh!
Thus, there are situations, such as this past Monday and Wednesday, when almost the entire broadcast spectrum was commandeered for hours to essentially reporting nothing. The motorcade from Elián's home to Miami Beach was treated as if it were the White Bronco chase or the Allied forces reoccupying Kuwait. Speaking of the White Bronco, he's back, by the way, with Channel 7. He's back, OJ, he's moving here, etc. All over him yesterday. Tom goes on to say, this despite the fact that it was well known the procession was going to end with the media excluded from the only news-making event of the day. In light of this, news briefs and regular newscasts could have done the job. In the event anything unforeseen took place, an instantaneous shift to the scene would have entailed only the push of a switch. Given the lack of genuine news correspondents and anchors vant with inane and irresponsible speculation and rumor-mongering, almost all of it intended to curry favor with the most extreme anti-Castro segments of the exile community. WSVN Channel 7, as might be expected, was the most outrageous, behaving like one of the strident radio talk stations that harangue communists 24 hours a day. WSVN never described one of the options of Elián being reunited with his father. Unfailingly, it was Elián being returned to communist Cuba. The explanation for the unacceptable behavior around the dial is simple. Cuban Americans make up about a third of the Miami-Fort Lauderdale TV market. No station wants to seem insensitive of their concerns. If your rivals are going wall-to-wall covering Elián, anything less on your part could be interpreted as a slap at this important segment of the audience. If nothing else, the leaders of the extreme fringe of the exile community have been splendidly successful in framing every issue in a "if you're not totally with us, you're against us" mode. The irony is many of those on the fringe turn to the dependably friendly Spanish-language media for their news. So the English-language stations risk alienating their core audience with little upside. They're willing to play this game of brinkmanship because there's no place else for the majority of the market to turn, no meaningful way to register their protests. Well, there is one way, says Tom. By turning off the set and denying these newscasts the ratings that are their lifeblood, the February sweep start Thursday, your move. Nice going there, Tom.
Oh!
4, 6, 7, and 10. You should all rot in hell. I'll say it again. And I notice now they've kind of calmed down. Have you noticed that? They've calmed down because there ain't nothing going on, just like there was nothing going on in the first place. And now the relatives say, oh, this is the best. This Armando Gutierrez son of a bitch, this guy says, go away from the house, and now we calm down. And basically they were told that, just like Spencer Ige, the schmata-head attorney, was told, cut the crap, or else. Yeah, this clown, Armando Gutierrez, family spokesman. Does your family have a spokesman, by the way? I said this the other day. The only people I know with a spokesman is the Panthers. They got a spokesman. I don't know anybody else with a spokesman. We don't think immigration officials will try to take Elián away, which having the media outside the house stopped them from doing, he said. But now we want the media to back off. Is there any person in their right mind who believes that because those assholes were hanging around outside, those 200 toothless wooden Indians, that they were hanging outside, that the INS didn't take the kid away?
No.
Anybody believe that?
No.
With a brain?
No.
Well, congratulations. Get a life.
Good. Pathetic. And this is why almost everybody has been turned off, no matter what they think about this little kid. Even if they don't think about it, we're turned off. We're pissed off. Because the Jose Basultos and the Raul Sanchez, whatever his name is, Saul douchebag, and Armando Gutierrez, and Rick Sanchez, all of these people. And then they have another big flotilla again yesterday with all the boats out there carrying on like a bunch of Boy Scouts in the water. Why? What does this have to do with anything? Nice going there, Tom Jicka. And like I said, Carl Heisen's got a great one, which I guess I'll read too, because look at this, there's only one call on the board. It's going to be a desperate Monday. They're all recovering from Joe's birthday party on Saturday. Call the police. 26 past 10 at 560 WQM. Call the cops. Get them in right now, goddammit.
Wake up with the first team. Joe Rose, Jeff DeForest, and Steve Goldstein. Weekday mornings at 6. Only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
There's no mind cure, and there's final solution. The plan to purge the world of the Jewish church. The Third Reich, they lie.
Boy!
Knocking back the blow.
Germans love good beer, almost as much as they love smooth blonde Aryan boys. And Fenster is the only beer brewed with slow roasting Jews.
The Third Reich, eyes right. knock back a Fenster Blau.
Fenster Blau beer with Zygon B. Mango Distributors, Argentina.
10:30 at 560 WQM. So, did any of the sports nerds get laid at your party Saturday or not? No. No. The answer is obviously
no.
No. The closest that Clarence came was like a little suck on the arm. And that was Joe's, by the way. That was Joe's arm. What is it?
He was doing well until the arm sucked.
Until he started sucking on her arm, and she just said,
no.
Get away from me, you creep, you stupid sports nerd asshole, you. See, I find this very distressing. Maybe if they would find a life of their own instead of trying to be like little underling clones, following some people around like the strip bars and going out and getting, a bookie for themselves. Maybe if they put their own feet on the ground, so to speak, and established an identity as a human being.
It was all very entertaining.
I'm sure. And what about Boca Brian?
It was all very entertaining.
Like I said. Okay, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. This is a sad, sad bunch. It really is. Not bad, but just sad. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, it's about to get worse, Neil. We have two media problems worse than everything you just read.
Yes?
One is number 10, Victor Kozlov gets it over to number 27, Ray Whitney. And the other is, hey, Denny, look at the smile on the face of Radek Dvorak. Denny, players like to smile when they do well.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
The media is sick and needs help badly.
Okay, thanks. Oh, I can see this is going to be some kind of a day. I've taken 2 calls so far. Did either one belong on the air?
No.
Did anybody have anything to say?
No.
No. Holy sweet Jesus, man. Friday we had a great day. It was an E-free day. I'm not going to do that today, though, because there's too much E stuff like the Jicka column and the Carl Hyson one, which I will get to. Maybe I'll just read them all over and over again, especially the Jicka one. Although why should I read it? Because I already said that myself before he picked it up. Nice putting it into a column, though, Tom. I like that. I mean, some people steal my material and do a crappy job of it, but when Tom does it, he does a magnificent job of really laying it right out there for you. Because really what it boils down to is that the people who speak English in this community, I'm not just talking about so-called Anglos, I mean anybody who's capable of speaking English, even if they're Hispanic, we don't want to be inundated with the same boring crap 24 hours a day. We're not into it that deeply and heavily. It don't affect our lives. And we take deep offense and bitter offense at the fact that we got a bunch of clown assholes on there on 4, 6, 7, and 10. Especially preempting our programs. Preempting our soap operas, one of their own making. And Rick Sanchez getting on his cell phone and trying to inject himself irresponsibly into a news story. Absolutely, positively unacceptable. The fact that some of these people still have their jobs shows you what a Bush League town this really is. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. It may be noon before we get our first real call here this morning. We're back to these kind of Mondays again. Well, it's after the Super Bowl, And that game ended pretty late last night, about 10 o'clock, after most of their bedtime. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hey, good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hi. Hey, the reason there was that flotilla yesterday was it was a nice day. It was a nice day out there. They wanted to get away from the wives, and there was a good reason to have the flotilla. On a serious note, I wonder if you could get us the fax numbers for the stations 7, 4, and.
Oh, you mean start a big campaign on here of people faxing the station? No, Tom Jick had the right idea, sir. Turn it off. Just turn their news off. Watch the programs you like, and when their news comes on, if you have a Nielsen thing, just shut it off and screw them. Stick it to them, because they don't give a crap. I've got all kinds of faxes people have sent me. Some with some lame responses from the TV station, some with no response. I got one here this morning. A guy faxed a great fax over to Channel 7. Did he get a response?
No.
Is he going to get a response?
No.
They don't care. Don't you understand? They don't care about us. So the only way you're going to strike back is if you got the Nielsen thing hooked up, just turn it off during their newscast, anything local. Or just turn it off all the time if you want, like Channel 7. When in doubt, tune it out. Tune on Whammy now. Joe was telling me about that new strip poker thing they got, the new show, which is like taking tens to another level. See, instead of doing it in increments, I realize this is America. We don't want to show too much hot flesh on the air, but since it's on at 11 o'clock at night, what was the guy that was on? He was on at 12. Richard Bay. Remember the Richard Bay show?
Yeah.
From New York? Yeah. We had his fag producer on the air a couple of times back in the IOD days. Richard Bay.
When it was Richard Bay or 9 Broadcast Plaza?
No, when it was the Richard Bay show, and he had all the hot-looking young people with very, very little clothes on, sometimes with no excuse at all. And who needs to have an excuse? See, that's the problem. It's like, who wants to see a storyline in a porno movie? Nobody wants to see a storyline. Just get to the action, baby. Nobody wants some goddamn storyline. Oh, but if there's a storyline, it's not so pornographic. And the same thing with putting hot, young, scantily clad people on the air. Nobody wants some song and a dance. Nobody wants a plot. Just put him on there and let's see him do a little grab ass and whatever you can get away with, and everybody wants to see that, right? You bet your sweet ass. Because please don't insult me by telling me that Britney Spears is a great singer or that Jennifer Lopez can sing it all out of a paper sack. Seriously, if you stuck a gun up her, she couldn't sing. It'd have to be a big gun, too, by the way. It'd get lost in Jennifer's case. I mean, don't get me wrong. Brittany is a very, 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 very lovely young lady who's of legal age now. But nevertheless, is she a great singer?
No.
No. Da, 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 sometimes I'm naked. You know, there you go. Yeah. People want to see hot stuff, that's all. Why do we have to be such liars about it? Why do we have to be such prudes about it? People want flesh. Unlike, of course, our sports nerd guys here who just want to get, hooked up with their bookie. I wonder what happens when Clarence sucks his bookie's arm. You think that gets brownie points for that? Yeah. I said his arm is what I said, Joe. Oh. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Pretty good, sir.
Yeah, well, I called you once on Tad Tony a long time ago, but I wanted to get involved with this Elian thing when Channel 7 had a survey on to call their 900 numbers last Friday about should Elian go back or not.
Yeah.
I called that number for 2 hours, and I had somebody call in Miami for an hour. Nobody got through. Where was that survey supposed to be? Little Alabama?
I never saw a result on that survey either.
They didn't have one up because I tried to call it for 2 hours to vote as many times as they voted in the election.
Right.
So I didn't even get through. So whatever they put up for us.
I think Rick Sanchez probably had the lines tied up. I think he was fixing it.
Yeah, well, I wanted to call and ask where's that guy he hit it. What's his name, too?
He's Dade, man. Dade is a doornail.
That's my point for the day, man.
Okay, pal. Praise Jesus. All right. That's what Kurt Warner and Bruce Isaac Bruce said. Praise Jesus. Look at that. We won the effing game. Oh, God. I mean, as that play happened, I'm thinking about, and what was the defensive back looking at on that play, by the way? He was lost. He needed a compass and a road map. Here they made this phenomenal comeback. They tied the game up. There's a couple of minutes left in the game. Get it to overtime now. You'd be having a chance. And he's like out there wandering around, and I guess Jesus probably pushed him away because Isaac Bruce said, Jesus! Yeah, he called out for his Lord and Savior. And his wicked arm from up above kind of spun that defensive back right around the wrong direction, and he just took off and hauled ass right in the end zone. So when you're like, if you're on a plane and the plane is like bouncing around and dropping 10,000 feet at a time and you fear for your life, you're going through a miserable storm. If you're out there on the highway and your car starts skidding around, don't pray to Jesus because he don't have time for you. He's busy with the football guys. See, this answers the question we've been asking for years on the show. How come they have all these, Christ for athletes for Christ breakfast and prayer groups and all this stuff? Because God is heavily into that crap. Just like our sports nerd guys, God's probably got a bookie. Yeah. God needs GA. Why do you think they call it GA? 22 before 11 at 560 WQAM. So how many virgins do we have in the QM sports department, by the way? Oh, I'm sorry.
Ed Kaplan knows the score. 30 and 10 till the last game ends. Weeknights only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
It just keeps getting bigger.
Hello?
Hello, I was calling about the wabbits you have for sale in the paper.
Okay.
What kind of wabbits are they?
Okay, I have some lops.
Yeah.
And I have some lops, some spotted lops, and some solid color lops.
Oh, wonderful.
And I have a straight-eared doe, and I have two dwarfs.
A widow dwarf?
They're small rabbits.
Oh, okay. We have a farm.
Uh-huh.
And we like to play with the wabbits on the farm. You wouldn't happen to have any, little wabbit handcuffs?
Any what?
Little handcuffs for the wabbit?
Handcuffs?
Yes.
No, sir, I never heard of them. What,
Well, we use them when we hunt them on the farm. We like to hunt the wabbits. And we take them and nail them to a tree by their ears and then skin them alive.
Do what?
Hello?
No, if that's what you're going to do at these rabbits, sir, I couldn't say you a rabbit.
We have a little game we play called All Wabbits Must Die.
No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. I wouldn't sell you a rabbit for $50.
I like to hunt the rabbit.
Well, that's okay. You go out in the wild and you hunt rabbits, but these aren't for kill.
I like to put them in a little pen and then hunt them down unmercifully.
No, sir, I'm sorry. Couldn't say you a rabbit.
Sometimes we even spear them through the head with a rusty rod on.
10:43 at 560 WQAM.
Oh!
I can see this is going to be a real wiener here today, speaking of John Wiener. This is going to be desperate. Here's a fax from Bonnie, who says, I just can't get away from Elián. I'm at the hockey game Saturday in the handicap section 419. In walked 4 young people who seemed very nice. As the game began and Pavel Bure was racing down the ice, one of the young men jumped up and screamed, "Score one for Elián, Pavelito." Although I wish Pavel would score all the time. Squirt. This time I'm almost glad he didn't. We just can't get a break from this, not even at the hockey game. Laments poor Bonnie from section whatever the hell I was, from the handicap section. Score one for Pavelito. Elián, or is it the other way around? I don't know. I'm confused. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. This is lame here this morning. This is really lame. I should have called in sick like George. Here's a mobile in Coral Gables. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
It's well documented. You're one of the few people on radio who's got guts to tell what it is, but there's a gentleman who stepped up to almost to your level. I don't know if you ever read the comics in the newspaper.
Read the what?
There's the comics.
No.
The comic strips. I was perusing the newspaper this morning, and there's a comic strip called Boondocks, and it just happened to caught my eye. The head of the Black Entertainment Network criticized the cartoonist having to do with racially motivated things and not keeping up with the black people. If you happen to get a chance to look at his answer and the cartoon that he drew regarding Black Entertainment Network, you'll really see that this guy answered back. I mean, reverse racism at its finest. Mm-hmm. It's really a pleasure to see somebody.
I bet you Jesse Jackson had his thumb in it, too. Okay, have a great day, sir, whatever you say. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir?
Neil, I read the column and I listened to your show, and I have to tell you, the column wasn't necessarily a takeoff of your show because I could have written the same column.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most annoying situation. I think we all feel that way.
It makes no difference whether it was taken from the show or not.
Yeah,
I'm just giving Tom a hard time.
Did you notice that they had the big picketing about the Georgia flag at the Dome yesterday in Atlanta?
Yeah, Jesse was upset about that too again, yeah.
I think the temperature drops 5 degrees and all of a sudden that becomes like a non-issue. The same way this became an issue, they did the flotilla because the weather's nice.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is absurd and it is annoying the community. For a while I watched Channel 4 and they were actually, I think, trying to be halfway newsworthy.
Not when Elliot Rodriguez was.
But they went crazy too with Channel 7.
Oh, speaking of Channel 4, by the way, I'm glad you mentioned that. What the hell's her name? The one, the crazy one that's always laughing like a hyena, Angela Ray. She laid a dinosaur egg on Friday.
Oh!
Nice going, Angela. She lost it. She started cackling and laughing so loud that I thought they were going to come with straitjackets and drag her ass off the set. I mean, this woman is not well. She really needs serious help. She needs assistance.
Well, like I said, the Rick Sanchez thing is an utter joke.
It's not a joke, though. It's not funny. Here is a guy.
His management.
Sir, listen to me. Here is a man who is supposed to be reporting the news, who starts hyperventilating because he starts interpreting things that he sees on a monitor with his plane out there at the at Tamiami Airport or Opelika Airport, whichever one it was. And so he gets on the cell phone and tries to call the car with the Miami family and the little kid in it to tell them to turn around and go home because the grandparents are going back to Washington. I mean, just totally unacceptable. Here is a man who is trying to interfere in the goddamn news and into a government-arranged meeting.
And his management...
It isn't a joke. It's pathetic.
His management are counterfeit journalists, and that's where the problem lies.
Okay, well, just say goodbye to Channel 7, sir. That's the answer for it. Just say no to 7. Everybody, just say
no
to Channel 7. Canal 7. Adios. Arrivederci. To you guys. I'll get that Miss Kamal upset, too. Don't want to get her too pissed off. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay. What is it? Okay, he's gone. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Oakland Park. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
yesterday in the real estate section.
Is there something I'm missing here today? But it seems like everybody's a little slow here this morning. I must have missed something.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, yesterday in the real estate section of the Sun Sentimental.
Yes?
Somebody bought a house in Coral Springs for $150,000.
Yeah.
And they printed the address. You know who the buyer was?
No.
Number 10 on the Panthers.
Yeah.
They printed his address in the paper. What
So
idiot?
why not? What's wrong with that?
Well,
Nobody here knows who that is.
Yeah, really, they've all brain dead. But anyway, I thought it was interesting.
It wasn't it's no secret where he lives in this other building. My buddy Charlie Alfieri lives in the same building that he lives in. It's no secret.
I used to deliver Charlie Alfieri's mail on
Well, good.
Saturday.
I'm happy for you, sir. Oh, I can't take this. I'm going home right now. I'm having my recurrence of my QAM disease. This bunch of people that I have just spoken to in this first 49 minutes of this show this morning, all I can say to everybody is, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Talk about a bunch of lifeless wonders. This guy, his claim to fame is he used to deliver Charles Alfieri's mail, and they put, he's looking through the guy. I mean, what person would see that? What kind of a person would see that in the newspaper? Do you know how big the Sunday paper is? I spend about 5 minutes. I go out and get the papers. I bring them in, and I take the condoms off the papers, and I spend about 5 minutes going through and throwing all of the crap that I'm not going to read into the big brown garbage thing before I take the other stuff in the house to read, which is about 90% of both papers. How could anybody, even with a minimal semblance of a life, find such a thing, A, and B, be concerned about it? Oh, number 10 from the Panthers, he's buying a house. Wow. This has really been a fly opener, I'll tell you that. Make no mistake about it. We may have to get pizza from Godfather's after all. What are you laughing about? I don't know what you're chuckling about. I would think you'd be chomping at the bit, so to speak.
Whatever you want to do, I'm for it.
Yeah, right. Which means he wants the goddamn... Well, we can't impose on them again, or at least the guy would know how to come here. See, I don't count that as a real test on Friday. That was like a dry run, because he got lost, and by the time he got the stuff here, it was just... plus, that isn't the one to get when you're having only one. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes?
I just want to hear the sound of my own voice on the radio.
That's what it sounds like.
How are you?
Okay.
You know those people with the Nielsen homes?
Yeah.
If they just get a TV and it's hooked up outside of the Nielsen thing, they can still watch their news, but they don't get any credit.
Well, why would they want to watch that news? That's what I don't understand. If they're bitching and moaning about it, why do they want to watch it in the first place?
It's like some people like to be annoyed. That's
Yeah.
their whole life. That's what gets their juices
Well,
flowing.
I don't. I will not watch Channel 7 News again.
I know, but you've been saying that for years.
No, I have not. When did I say that?
Well, how else do you know everything that Rick Sanchez is doing?
I rarely watch Channel 7 News, and I don't know everything he's doing, but when that stuff was going on, did you have an alternative? Can you turn to someplace else?
That's true. I mean, there was
You
not even
can't
that
channel surf. You bounce from one to another to see if anybody's going to give you a relief from this crap, which they didn't.
No, they didn't. And it was like, I mean, heads of state had
And the only reason I knew Rick Sanchez made the call is because somebody called in. I didn't see that. Somebody called in to tell me about it.
But major heads of state visiting other world capitals never got coverage like that day.
Okay, and have a great day, sir.
Don't start hyperventilating and breathing too hard.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I'm going to have to read Carl Heisen's Planet Alien editorial. I may have to read that. Do I want to read it?
No.
No. I want to talk to some living and breathing people out there in Radio Land. Oh, but it's Monday. I'm going to take every Monday off from now on. I'm tired of the excuses. Like I told you before, this is a town of excuses. They don't show up to ball games. They don't support anything else. They certainly don't support us here with any kind of a response 90% of the time and 100% of the time on Monday. Maybe over the years there have been like 3 Mondays when something extraordinary was happening or I was giving something away. Maybe over the course of 24 years in this town, there have been 3 Mondays when we had like a real show. And the rest of the time, oh, we're sorry, but we're too busy pretending we got a life. And, of course, the people we're hearing from today, do they have a life?
No.
No, that's why they're calling. They can't even put on an act, like Clarence. Here's a mobile in Davie. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just to change the subject here, I wanted to talk about IBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 27, and I've been diagnosed with it too. What do they say about drinking beer with that, you know? They say to not drink alcohol?
Oh, now when you say, what do they say? Who's they? Who's they?
Doctor. What do you mean they? I'm talking about IBS, irritable bowel syndrome.
But you said, what do they say? Who's the they?
Oh, your doctor. What did he tell you?
I don't care, Cass. He doesn't tell me anything because I don't drink. But my answer would be, no. Don't do it.
Really?
You just stop and use some common sense.
Uh-huh.
If you've got an irritable bowel, booze is going to like pouring acid into a cauldron.
Really?
Really?
I don't drink hard liquor, just like beer and stuff. Beer here and there.
No, don't do it till it clears up.
Oh, really? I also work in the same plaza as Pizza Loft, and I always see that guy Jeff Cohen getting mail at the mailbox.
Yeah.
He's a funny-looking guy. He's got funny nails. What's the story with that?
Listen, we're going to hook you up with a guy from Coral Springs that once got the mail delivered the mail to Charles Alfieri's house. Oh, this is... Joe Costello does it again.
Oh!
Every time, without fail, something really special happens on the show when you're in there. Something really astonishing.
It's Monday. This happens every Monday. It has nothing to do with me.
Even when George is here with his intellectual crowd?
Good point.
That's right. When George is here with those intellectual callers, come on, George, you can get out of the sick bed. I'll make way for you. I'll give me a 15-minute head start so I don't catch any of what you got. George can come on and do the show from his sick bed. Going home. I can't handle this crowd. This is an unruly crowd today. Yeah, I see that guy Jeff Cohen getting the mail out of his mailbox. Yeah, he's got strange fingernails. Woo! Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I wanted to talk about Sister Mary Teresa there, the one that went up and started lobbying the Congress or whatever.
Sister Mary Catherine. Jesus.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Am I the only one that can realize why the grandmothers are leery about being in this country?
Not at all. They've been very well brainwashed. Plus, they see all these crazy agitators out there. Some of them are going, Comunista, Comunista, and there are a couple of old ladies anyway who are like, from a 10th world country.
Exactly. They're professional Cubans, and they've been brought up to believe that, we're the terrorists and we're the bad guys.
Right, and the Cuban mafia in Miami, don't forget about them.
Oh, yeah. I got a shameless request for you.
And what was the need for all these other people to be in the house next door, in the waterway behind the house? What was the need for them to be there? Other than just to be agitators and create that nervousness. But anyway, go ahead.
Did they have their teeth?
Yeah.
Can I get a shameless request?
Yes, sir.
Could I get I kick his ass if I could get Dug Up, the Elvis Presley one?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You got it, pal.
Bye-bye.
Wow. I'm telling you, these people must have all been Joe's birthday party Saturday.
Uh-huh.
These must have been the people that got lucky.
Uh-huh.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, that out-of-town line. It's sitting there waiting desperately for a voice from the outside world, for something, for some input. 877-785-6345. Please, someone come and rescue us here in South Florida. We're drowning in a sea of crap. 877-785-6345, 1056 at QAM.
This is 560 QAM. Jim Mandich talks sports.
All right.
Yes, right here on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, well, bless my soul, what's wrong with Lisa Marie? Now we got a pervert up the family tree. Spinning in my grave and I'm about to throw up. I kick his ass if I could get dug up. Yeah. Oh, well, my legs are rotted and my arms fell off. So cold in the grave, I got a nasty cough. The king of pop's popping my buttercup. I bust his ass if I could get dug up. Yeah. Well, I break his jaw and give him 2 black eyes. His nose would swell to its original size. I bleach his skin till he's all gone. I bend him over while the chimp looks off. So do me a favor if you love me. Bring a backhoe to the cemetery. There's a llama-loving pedophile I gotta beat up, but I can't unless I get dug up. Yeah, somebody dig me up.
I think it's really symbolic when the king dies on his throne. I think there's something really beautiful about that. It's 11 o'clock at 560 WQAM. Here's a fax from Dr. Rick. Not Dr. Dick, but Dr. Rick, who says, go back to no more callers. You need to take a break from the losers at least until tomorrow. P.S. No cheese for your IBS. It'll rip you a rectum ass. He says, don't do it. And then he writes at the bottom of that, no. Thank you, Dr. Rick. Good idea. No pizza. Can't eat that cheese. And I've been cutting out the cheese, by the way, lately. And I think that's why I feel so much better. I think I have lactose intolerance. Because I eat, like I said on Friday, too much damn cheese. I eat cheese with everything. Cheese and cheese and cheese. And, of course, cheese comes from milk. Do I drink milk?
No.
Thank God for that. Because milk, unlike beer, milk is bad for you. That's what Rick and Thud said. Milk is bad for you. Remember that song? Don't do it. Here's some bad news, by the way, which Bluff just came in and handed me this memo. To Duff Lindsay from George Corso, carbon copy to Greg Reed. I talked to the technical sales manager at Tello Systems this morning about the new telephone system that we ordered for Neil Rogers. Shipment of this product is due the middle to end of February. This means we will not meet the Valentine's Day installation deadline. I will schedule installation of the system as soon as received, says George Corso, our sometimes engineer. So we're going to have it on February 14th?
No.
As Greg Reed came in here and adamantly told us that absolutely positively, write it in your blood?
No.
No. And, of course, come March will be a year that we've been up here on the third floor in the studio, and right from the get-go, right from the first day, right out of the box, as they say, this phone system was a piece of pure crap, wasn't working. Here we are almost a year later. Maybe we can schedule a phone system to be in here, the new phone system, simultaneously, but when they finish the construction project out there.
Yeah.
Would you notice that beautiful particle board desk sitting out there that if you breathe too heavy, it's going to fall apart? Nice going again, Greg. We went into that break. We had 8 calls on the board there. It looked to me like we were starting to build something really exciting here on a Monday, and now there is 1. All I can say is you people are lame. L-A-A-M. Real lame. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, morning.
Yes, sir.
I'll try and shake off the lameness.
This is pathetic.
Yeah. I'm real concerned about the Catholic Church now. I think they're going to lose membership big time.
No, they're not.
No.
Why is that? What makes you say that?
They got to get the wafers from all these priests there with AIDS.
They don't. Look, you can't confuse them with the truth. Nothing stops them. I mean, we've known about that for years. It's not going to stop them from going. All the pedophiles, they don't care. They're so goddamn brainwashed. They can't drag themselves away.
Well, can I talk about the Panthers for a quick second?
About
I was at the game, the Devils game, and that Svela debacle. I haven't seen anything worse than that since that Avalanche game last year where they gave up the 4-0 lead and lost Bure.
5-0.
5-0.
Mm-hmm.
That was terrible. And I got a message to all the people that want to jump on the bandwagon in April, because I'm still with them. You can't sit next to me. I can smell you a mile away, all you bandwagon jumpers.
Okay.
I got to look for something else to do.
Okay. I thought he was going to break the trend of bad calls. Isn't that what he said? He threatened to do it. He was all right. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Is there anybody living and breathing out there today? And you know the interesting part of this whole deal, at least when it comes to this audience, talk about liar, liar, pants on fire. You can talk, because I know I'm expressing it from the way I feel about it. This Elián crap. It's disgusting, and Jicka had a great column there that I read. But for the rest of these people, it's just something else for them to bitch about. And when you're not talking about that, look at this deal here today. We haven't had 55,000 hours of coverage over the weekend because there's nothing going on, quite frankly. And the hearing is like for 75 weeks away. So now these people have got no material. They love it. They thrive on it. You go through the editorial pages, letter after letter after letter to the editor. 90% of these people would never write a letter to the editor. But now all of a sudden give some material in this otherwise terminal, hopeless place. Here's Naples. Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Dave from Naples. 2 comments, Neil. Love your show. Second thing is, Metamucil, if you haven't tried it, is the best thing in the world. It darn near saved my life one time. I couldn't eat without sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
And it works.
I don't have any problem. I'm feeling great. I have no problem at the moment.
I've been out for 10 years.
My bowels are great, and my life is, I feel sensational.
Hey, that's the way it's supposed to be, by golly.
Right.
Second thing is, it's Elián crap.
I thought that was the second thing, yes.
How much Are the taxpayers being charged for all this crap, for all this going on?
Well, since you live in Naples, probably you're not being charged any of it.
No, but the federal getting involved, all these people get involved, these people all get paid for their job.
Yeah.
It's costing the taxpayers a bundle of money for this crap.
It is.
And if roles were reversed,
let me ask you this: the INS people you're talking about, those are the only federal people I can think of at this point.
Yeah.
They're on probably a salary. They get paid.
But
whether they're doing anything or not.
That'd be extra expense in it,
No,
I think.
I don't think so.
But
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, stick with the Metamucil and have a great day. They're doing Metamucil over in Naples. Let's hear it. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Any young ladies out there under the age of 40, Josh Darrow in our sports department would desperately like to get laid before midnight. Doesn't make any difference whether you're hairy or grotesque, at least if you shaved this morning. At least facial hair, anyway. Oh, it doesn't make any difference? Like I said, don't worry about it. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I got something, maybe a little material. You're probably tired of hearing about it, but that John Rocker thing, Major League Baseball is so hypocritical.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, they're upset about what he said, but meanwhile, when Native Americans go to teams like, Cleveland and ask them to clean up the image of their mascot, they say
5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I'm playing some music today. I'm going to sit back, kick back, put my feet up on the desk, not eat anything. I'm going to be on my best behavior. Joe won't be too happy about that. Well, what the hell could I eat anyway? Can't eat meat, can't eat cheese. Could have a nice salad maybe. But I don't want a goddamn nice salad. I want any food. Am I hungry or no? Of course not. This business of coming in here like some kind of an automaton and just eating because I'm frustrated with a horse crap audience here this morning. Am I going to do that?
No.
Am I going to punish myself? Because I got a bunch of retards here with no material, as usual in this frickin' town. I should be used to that after 24 years.
Yes.
I should be well used to that. Plus, it's almost noon already. Before you know it, we'll be right the hell out of here. You mark my words, you watch. And what's that? What is that, another smoothie you're drinking there? Oh, those are going to kill you. Those are bad for you.
Healthy stuff.
Healthy stuff, my ass. It's loaded with sugar, isn't it?
I guess.
What do you mean you guess?
It's got good stuff in it too. It's like a healthy thing. It's not like I'm eating ice cream.
Where did that come from?
Where did it come from?
From whence it came? Where'd you get it?
Smoothie King, Fort Lauderdale.
The Smoothie King?
They started the whole smoothie thing.
And where's that? You wasn't in Fort Lauderdale. Smoothie King where?
On 17th Street Causeway on my way here.
On the 17th Street Causeway? You live in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
No.
You live in Fort Lauderdale?
Janina lives in Fort Lauderdale, and I live there.
Okay. But you don't live there. I thought you lived in Hollywood.
Pembroke Pines.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Nice, safe Pembroke Pines. You think you're safe, huh? You're not so safe anymore.
East Pembroke Pines.
Oh, thank God for that. And then, of course, there's always Pembroke Lakes. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to go down here. It's just, there's always Plantation Acres. But don't come out where it's overloaded. We don't have any room for you. It's a beautiful place. We have no room left for you out there in West Broward. Just stay the hell away. Not you, I'm not saying. I'm just generally speaking.
Wake up with the first team. Joe Rogan, Jeff DeForest, and Steve Goldstein. Weekday mornings at 6. Only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Holy cow, Aaron's coming.
They say that man, he despises me.
Yes.
There's even talk about him hating me. I admit that's something I don't want to hear. But that's just talk until you prove it here. Oh, yes, it's true, believe me, I just can't blame him. I'm taking a lot of fans away from him. Forget about old rumors about which way he really goes. I need to find out if this latest rumor, so I need to know. I need to know.
Catholic for sure.
Does Ricky Martin really think my music blows? I need to know.
Catholic for sure.
I need to know. Does Ricky Martin really think my music blows?
Okay, so just pretend you didn't hear that memo that I read about the phone system coming in because at the bottom, see, I didn't see that way down at the bottom of the page. Ordinarily, you wouldn't see that, would you? Would anybody look at that? In very, pale, artsy-fartsy, not for broadcast. And who the hell is George Corso, our chief engineer, to be writing memos about something like this and putting not for broadcast in the bottom of the memo anyway? Who the hell is he?
He's an asshole.
Yeah. a year later after we came in here with a bogus phone system. I can remember months ago, you were in there the one day that we were, oh yeah, we're getting the new one, we're putting the tell us, but he stood right in there with you, George, and me and a partridge in a pear tree. Did we ever get it?
No.
No. So quit trying to be macho boss and get something done, Mr. Corso. That's what we would like to have in this studio. It's a year later now. We still have a piece of crap, a joke phone system. We're the laughing stock of the technical industry, and you're writing memos. Not for broadcast. Also not for broadcast, by the way. We have a commercial coming up for a place that I like a lot, but do we have any copy for it?
No.
No, because Gary Sarner, well, Ray is downstairs working on it, is what Joe just told me. He's working on it. How about the copy?
That too.
Oh. It's just, see, I guess everybody else, why should I finger these people, so to speak? Why should I point the finger at them? I guess that's the reason that everybody else is all screwed up. It was a big Super Bowl weekend. Everybody had to go to Joe's birthday party, get busted by the cops. Yeah. Watch, what's his name, whatever his name is. Well, you know something, because Hank calls all these people these ridiculous names all the time, it's very difficult for me, even though I've been here for 500 years, to figure out what their real names are, you know. Like Clarence. Do we have anybody here named Clarence? No. No, we don't. And Stugatz. Who the hell was telling me that? It must have been the hockey game. If he doesn't stop calling, isn't that Wiener that he calls Stugatz? If he doesn't stop calling him Stugatz, that they're going to do something drastic, like pee on the floor or something. If he doesn't stop doing that. And I sure don't want to pee on his parade, but cut it out, Hank. Stugatz. And what does that mean anyway? Who is Stugatz?
It's like Italian slang for my
penis. Oh, I see. Wiener. Well, I'm trying to put this all together. I'm trying to reason this out. You know, when in doubt, reason it out. Stop doing it, Hank. Irritable bowel syndrome may begin with painful pass, somebody faxes me. The cause of irritable bowel syndrome has baffled doctors over time, but a study's authors suggest the digestive disorder is symptomatic of emotional abuse. Oh! Yeah! In other words, a.k.a. WQAM disease. Yeah, this is in USA Today. This is today's paper, by the way. Talk about timely. See, when I get something, it's timely. I don't do it like it's some oddball time. I get it when everybody's talking about it. Like diarrhea. That's right. Next time you find everybody in town talking about diarrhea, I'm going to be sitting right there on the throne, having a wicked bout. You mark my words. And like I told you, Ray was down there working on it. I told you, no problem, with 3 minutes to spare, whatever it was, 5 minutes. Because Gary Sarner, of course, he's an asshole. We already know that. Thank you so much. Excellent. Which, of course, gives me a lot of time to look it over, too. Here's a mobile in West Palm Beach. Hello.
Yeah, I've got a thing about that church, the Catholic Church. I'm up there in West Palm, and while I was up in Chicago, they had the Catholic Church Diocese having an ad commercial.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what is going on with these phones here today? What is it? What is happening here? All I can say is, yeah. That's about the third time that's happened on that line. Nice going there, George Corso. Although, by the way, that comment is not for broadcast. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
I don't think you had anything to say anyway. Yes, sir.
Hi. Yeah, Stugatz really means crazy. Like in Brooklyn, they used to say, "What are you, Stugatz?"
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. Hey, wouldn't it have been great if, like, Elian at halftime came out?
No. 5670560. I'm playing the music. You know, I'm not going to press this. What's the point? They have no material today. They've got nothing going. And if nothing else, at least the Elian thing, as you say. Now, what is going on? Are some of these lines screwed up, maybe? Because I don't want to assume. Because I don't want to get started with that. Oh no, that would be bad on a Monday, especially after reading that memo that wasn't supposed to be broadcast from our chief, our crack engineer, who's right on top of this a year later and can't get his finger out of it. Rectum, so to speak. That would be bad, because this line to me sounds like it may be screwed up. And once again, for about the 4,000th time, although I'm not going to get the least bit psychotic about it, I'm sitting here screaming and yelling and bitching out the audience, and maybe it's not their fault.
No.
Maybe there are some calls on there. Because I think somebody's dicking around with our phone again here today, the way it looks to me. Somebody's dicking with it, and the phone too. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Good morning, God.
Yes, sir.
Questions for you. First one, if I live in Southwest Wilton Manors, does that make me gay?
Yes.
Figures. You see the commercials, the promos for this show where they're talking about healing the spinal cord injuries, and you see Superman walking and like that.
That spot was awful. That spot was pathetic.
Yeah, but you know what?
I mean, that was so fake. With all the technology that they've got today, with all the digital equipment that they've got, and all the things that they can do in movies, I mean, that was so pathetic. That was the most obvious. It looked like Godzilla with a Chris Reeves head on it.
Wouldn't it be nice if they could really do it, though?
I understand, but what does that have to do with the spot?
That's true.
The spot was tragic. It was almost as bad as the Muhammad Ali spot, where he was
that was off. That was off. Like he's going to come back and fight. That was funny. My comment is this.
What?
If everybody donating money to find cures for this and that, why can't they donate enough money and find a cure so we can get that dang Bill Calder off his dead ass and back to work?
#567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's the lady in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing? Hey, Stugazz means up yours in Italian. I think that guy is wrong.
Uh-huh.
So I've been on hold, so I was waiting to tell you that.
Okay, thanks. I don't want to know what it means. I don't want a conversation about Stugazz. Do you understand?
No.
Let me say it again. I don't give an F what it means, okay? You got it? I don't care. I just mentioned it in passing, like Lee J. Cobb and The Exorcist, Father Paranoia. I just mentioned it in passing about all the priests with AIDS. Wow, this is special. Someplace special for crap. Here it is, 560. You know, I come in this morning. I should have known, because I come in this morning. I usually take a gander with that phone in there, and there were like only 1-2 lines ever lit the most time with those sports nerds. And I thought, gee, this is the day after the Super Bowl, and you do understand why, don't you? Even though this isn't a sports show. Now that the football season is officially over, that's it, like somebody pulled a plug. Somebody pulled a goddamn plug. And we didn't even talk about football much on this show, or sports. But now these people are desperately concerned. They only wish, they pray that maybe Elian's daddy would come over on the plane today and land at one of the airports, and we could like get back into that heavy duty again, give them something to chew their nosh on. Well, speaking of something to nosh on, let's see, if I just keep talking about it, pretty soon it'll be 2 o'clock and then there won't be any food here. You have to segue. You have to do things in intermediate steps. This is part of my 3-step program, as in step away from the food. Now, the first one was on Friday, which I didn't step away very good because we had the Godfather's Pizza. It was very good. Not as good as it could have been, but it was good. And I'm sure it's much better when you go there in person over there on Davie Road Extension, right by the Hess station. Now, the next thing is you talk about it, but you don't actually order it and get it in here. And then the third thing is you forget all about it. You're doing it in increments. So it's like the detoxification. It's like the GA course we're going to have for the sports nerds in there to get them off that gambling jag. First, you talk about if they don't pay up, the bookie's going to come in here and break the legs. Secondly, you actually have the bookie come in the building and put it on the air to break their legs, which I think would be great.
Oh!
And then maybe to try to curry a little bit of favor, maybe then Clarence can suck on the bookie's leg a little bit and kind of eat. That was really special. That was great. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Fort Lauderdale. Oh, Neil.
Radio way up. Yes, sir.
Did you get to see Tina Turner yesterday?
I don't want to see Tina Turner, no.
Oh man, she was gross. She couldn't even keep up with the music. She was lip syncing, you know.
She was at halftime.
That too.
She was up again. Oh, I don't want to say that crap. No.
At least I was glad to see that we didn't have Gloria Estefan to deal with this year.
Yeah. No, we had Christina Aguilera instead, who weighs about 18 pounds, by the way. In fact, I'll tell you how scrawny she is. She was on there with Enrique, who did look very good. He looked very pretty to me. But he's scrawny. And she made him look like, heavy duty. She weighed about 6 pounds, Christina Aguilera, and also can't sing for Schmidt. She is so weak. And there are guys who think that she's a hot number. Like, what's his name? They're on the TRL on MTV, Carson Daly. Supposedly that's his squeeze. How can you squeeze it when it weighs like 2 pounds, you know?
That's his squeeze? I thought he was dating Love Hewitt, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No, supposedly it was Christina Aguilera.
This guy gets all the hot babes. Well, he stinks.
Yeah, he does. He pisses me off, that whole show. You know, at least Much Music, they play a lot of good videos, and number 2, they play the videos. And they don't have all these punky little kids.
Oh, hi, this is Jennifer, and I'm dying to hear the Backstreet Boys, and I got my finger all the way up my...
Rectum.
You know, in the middle of, yeah. Just play the video. I mean, they only play like 10 videos anyway on MTV, and then they got to fade it. Oh, here's number one. Here's the most popular one in the world. They play about a minute of it, and then they got to fade it down in the background so Carson can come on there and play Mr. Big Shot. That's a bad channel is that MTV. Once they took Abe off of there on that Road Rules, I said to them, okay? And once they started spreading those rumors about my buddy Tom Green, since they only show like 4 Tom Green shows anyway, the same ones over and over again. It's like the videos, same ones over and over again. Which that's one thing about Road Rules. If you see somebody on there you like, you don't have to worry because in another couple of months they'll be back anyway. They'll show it again. Here's Hialeah. Hello.
Neil, God.
Yes, sir.
Okay, first thing, continuing with the commercials, there was one for Zach Thomas where he's like, some guy, he's talking out loud, but you see him sitting down, and he's like, what if I get hurt? What if I break my back, break my face or something? And then, will you help me? It's like, I guess the end of the commercial, he finally walks up from the wheelchair. Real sad. Real
Didn't see
sad.
that. Thank God. I missed that.
Oh, I know, but it wasn't on the Super Bowl. I think they've been running it like
Chris Reed
regular.
that's the one. That's the same. I thought it was a different one you described. It's the same one.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I saw it twice. And it was just as bad each time.
Oh, God. It's like every time. Probably the best thing to do is watch the Super Bowl on mute because there's nothing really to listen to.
Especially once the boomer starts opening up his puss.
Those guys were so drunk at the beginning of the game, it wasn't even funny. They wouldn't know what the hell they were talking about. Let's see. Anything else? No. Shameless request, Neil. Smoking 2 joints, please.
No. 5670560. You're right about the callers. Oh, I got to say, after vacation, I'm getting rid of the callers permanently. They're going on permanent vacation. They're awful. They're an impediment to my life, an impediment to my success. They're an impediment to this program. They're an impediment to the listeners' enjoyment of the program.
Can I hear Smoke 2 Joints, Ganja Be Good, Jack in the Box, Young Neil, and
what's one?
and Rasta Jew. Can I hear those?
No. Absolutely. Positively, the answer is
no.
Emphatically, no.
You forgot the bridge tender.
And the bridge. Can I hear the bridge tender?
No.
26 after 11 at 560 WQAM.
Only one South Florida radio station has the hammer, and you're listening to it. Goldberg, weekday afternoons at 2. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
What an embarrassment. What a joke. Tonight on ABC, it's Who Wants to Be a White Supremacist Millionaire? Okay, here's your question. If you see a black man running down the street, he will be carrying A, an Olympic torch, B, a relay baton, or C, a TV set. What is your answer? It's the game show where ordinary right-wing extremists can win millions to fund the overthrow of the government. Who Wants to Be a White Supremacist Millionaire? Tonight on ABC.
11:31 at 560 WQAM. Grammars speak up about a problem that 20% of adults endure. Kelsey and Camille Grammer, they're the poster children for diarrhea. Isn't that something that most of us aspire to be someday? Poster children for bad bowel movements. Yeah. In fact, what I'm going to do is walk around, and around my neck, I'm going to have like a toilet seat, a very badly stained toilet seat around my neck. Kind of like emphasize. I know it's a little bit tasteless. Great to keep you on your diet, though. They're the poster children for a topic, it says in USA Today, that most people would rather keep behind a closed bathroom door. Irritable bowel syndrome. See, like I said, when I get something, I do it at just the right time. 20% of adults are suffering desperately from crap. Bad crap. It says there are so many people who suffer alone, and they shouldn't be embarrassed to talk about it, says Camille Grammer, who was diagnosed about 3.5 years ago, but has dealt with the problem for more than 7 years. The star Frazier joined the cause to support his wife of almost 3 years. This is something couples have to deal with together, especially when she cuts loose in bed. That's what he said. There were times I thought she was going to die because I'd see the pain she was in. I was scared for her health. Irritable bowel syndrome often alternates between constipation and diarrhea, usually coupled with abdominal pain, gas, and bloating. Oh, by the way, guess what else causes gas and bloating? Is that damn stuff that they give, that Pravachol, Dr. Dick. Pravachol. One of the side effects, abdominal bloating and cramps. And as much as I would like to say it's the QAM stress that caused my IBS, I don't think so. I think it's that Pravachol. You stick with that Macaulay Kilmer book, whatever that book is, and you'll be okay. Get your homo level way down. Get your heart all strengthened up. Take that CoQ10 and just say no. Now, what was that? Did I touch the phone?
No.
No. The phone, again, line 8, that's the third time that's happened in a week. Just went on spontaneously. Now, that's not for broadcast, you understand. But it just went on by itself. Did I touch it?
No.
Was I near it?
No.
Was I thinking about it?
No.
No. So you can write all the memos you want, Mr. Corso, but the fact is that between you and Greg Reed and all the other hotshots around this joint, what you put together in here, I wouldn't wish on a goddamn dog, a dead one, on the original Lassie, who was busy pushing up daisies. Oh, yeah, this is some operation, man. And I just mentioned that in passing. I wouldn't want to discourage anybody from, of course, participating in that thing that we can't talk about, you know, because we're in the quiet period. You know the one I'm talking about?
Only $50.
With the Wanna Beasleys? But anybody that thinks that this is a real broadcast company, boy, you need a serious lobotomy. We can get you a good discount rate. Here's Kendall. Hello.
Hello, Neil. How
Yes,
you
sir.
doing?
Great.
My theory on Sister O'Loughlin, there, president of Barry University.
Sister Jean, yes.
Sister Jean, yeah. I think she had a change of heart regarding Elián, and I believe that was after she realized her mansion on Miami Beach may be substituted for a vow of poverty if she upsets the large Cuban Catholic community here in Dade County. I think she got a bad case of IBS herself once she realized that, hey, maybe I shouldn't be on that side of the issue if, the Cubans are all Catholic, and that's a good part of my,
Yeah,
income.
her story sounded pretty bogus to me.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, you notice Janet Reno wasn't buying it. Isn't that interesting?
No, I know. Very
because
good
when Sister Jean got off the plane, Janet was there to greet her, and like I said Friday, Janet said something smells fishy here.
She did like an instant psychological analysis of these grandmothers
Yeah.
and her when they were in her house for like just about 2 hours. All of a sudden, she came to the conclusion, I guess, that this kid shouldn't stay.
And the fact that the nuns were out there sitting in the hallway and monitoring, and people kept running in and out to make sure who was saying this and who was saying that, I mean, that would make anybody nervous, of course.
She knows where her bread is buttered. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks for the good news. Yeah, Sister Jean, you're full of crap, okay, sweetheart? Cut the baloney. And like I've said 50 million times, you want him here? See, they've turned off everybody. That's the thing. You idiots, you fools, you. First of all, by consorting with these goddamn militant organizations and all these obnoxious people who are despised by all. And secondly, by keeping this three-ring circus, and initially by threatening to shut the whole goddamn town down. You pissed everybody off. If they would have had any brains, or any kind of grace, any kind of common sense, any sense of community in the beginning. Oh, my gosh, the whole family wanted to come here. The father applied for an exit visa from Cuba. He wants his kid to be here. There'd be no problem. I think anybody with a brain would say, okay, let him stay here, and let's go on with life. Yeah, that's right. But no, because they've alienated, I shouldn't say that. They've alienated so many of us. We just want to get rid of them. Just get rid of the story. Just go away, sweetheart. Don't take it personal, but go away. We don't want to hear about your... I wouldn't be surprised if he winds up with IBS. Because I know that American family of his, they sure got the BS part. And the crowd that's outside in front of the house, they got the part to put in front of the BS. Here's Pompano. Hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
That issue sucks. I hate listening to it. I don't want to listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know if you saw this commercial yesterday, but they're wheeling this guy into the hospital on a gurney on his stomach, and they bring him in and they put him in the emergency room, and then there's all these people looking around, and they lift up the sheet, and they go, this guy's got money coming out of the wazoo. Did you see that one?
No.
Oh, it was so funny.
And money coming out of his
wazoo.
Yeah.
And it was for like an E-Trade commercial or something like that. It was really, really funny.
Joe saw it. He said marginal, weak, very weak.
Really? Oh, I thought it was great.
He said it was stunk.
All right, Joe. Well, then that's too bad. Hey,
That's just his opinion. I mean, it doesn't make it right, but he generally knows about these things. He said it sucked.
All right. Well, it sucked then.
Yeah.
Listen, how's that guy Trent McCleary doing from the Canadian?
He's
Guy that
okay.
got hit with a punch
He's
in
okay.
the throat?
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right?
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he plays Wednesday against the Panthers here.
Oh, really?
No.
No, he's not going to play.
No.
And
He's okay, though.
what about that guy that got hurt on the Titans yesterday? What happened to him?
Oh, and the best part of that is Kurt Warner came over and prayed for him. Wasn't that white of him? That was very nice.
Well, what happened with him?
I never heard one more word about it.
I never did either. The game was over. You never heard about the guy.
Well, he's small potatoes. We can't be worried about him. Do you hear any more about it?
Neck strain.
Neck strain.
He was not unconscious. He felt a shooting pain down his back, so he lay motionless just in case.
Just in case. I think he's got IBS is what he's got.
Right.
Have a great day, sir. Probably stained his jockstrap. 5670560, pound 560 on the IT&T, what is it, IT&T boardroom with Howard Beale and Ned Beatty. Well, I was feeling so good this morning when I came in. I was on top of the world. I felt great. Now I feel, not really sure. The verdict is still out. 5670560. How's that line 4 doing, by the way? I'm curious about that one. Because I would hate to punch that up and find that it's got all kinds of problems in it again. That would be very bad. Then I'd have to start reading memos that say not for broadcast on the bottom from our engineer department and making those indicating that there might be a problem there. Yeah. The Neil Rogers Show will be on tape until further notice, till we get a real phone system in here. I think that's the way to do it. Just have them play the tapes. I'll record the spots. Take about a 6-week vacation at least. They're going to get it done in 6 weeks?
No.
No. But I just mentioned you again. I'm not going to read the memo because it said not for broadcast, but I just heard a rumor rattling around the building that the phone system will not be in here on Valentine's Day when we were promised, absolutely cross my heart and hope to croak a wicked death by Greg Reed. Weren't we promised that?
Uh-huh.
Is it going to happen?
No.
No. I just heard that going around. I think our PD told me that. You know PD?
The Neil Rogers Show. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Enough of the talking.
If you haven't been watching the new hit show action on the Fates Network, here's what you've been missing.
Come back here, you motherfucker!
All of the foul language that gets edited out of network television is here on the station that's half a network at best.
Oh, yeah? Take that!
So if you've been wasting your time watching primetime shows that don't say then you're a total Mark your calendar and watch the Fakes Network hit show action every Wednesday for the rest of your life.
Or at least until it gets canceled next week. Okay, Jerky?
And don't miss 2 new shows coming to the Fakes Network. It's the premiere of You and Go Yourself.
Well, guess what? You too, man. It's 11:44 at 560 WQM. Hank will be doing a show from Vegas today. I guess when Hank is on, we'll find out about that new National Airlines because I'm sure that's what he went out there for, is to get the freebie. Right? Am I right? He went out there to get the freebie. Plus, he could plunge his lungs out on the Super Bowl out there in Vegas legally without having to go to jail like most of these sports nerds in the other room are going to be doing when they bust this place pretty soon. That's going to be our office pool, by the way. This could be nip and tuck. Who's going to get busted first, George at the swing club or the sports nerds here with their bookies? That's going to be nip and tuck. That's going to be a very, very tight one. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil, my bet's going to be on the sports nerds getting picked up before George.
Yeah.
Little Ricky Sanchez has made his career since his days of brown nose and the brown shirts down there in Miami of being involved in stuff. After that, it was Alberto Sampedro.
Yeah, we already been through that, sir. It's old news. We talked about that on Friday, and it's very terminal and very boring and old news. And have a great life. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Stale is last century's hot tamales, man. That's the material we're hearing today. Stale, old, and tired. Weak. Really weak. You can smell it. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how you doing?
Okay.
Okay, I was watching CNN this morning, and they had a poll of the best-run cities, and Phoenix, Arizona got an A.
Oh, Phoenix is a horrible place.
Well,
a lot of
maybe,
pricks out there.
Who knows who's running the poll?
That place sucks.
But anyways,
if you're a right-wing old fart about 100 years old.
Oh, I'm a Democrat myself.
Well, you know.
But anyways, I asked my brother what Miami should get. You know, I said they probably should get an X. And he turned around and looked at me and said, yeah, the skull and crossbones. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Does that make sense to you?
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I mean, those of you who may be visiting our fair city today, which I can't imagine why anybody would be here, but if you're from out of town, what you're hearing today is why most of us would desperately like to get out. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. This is really special today. I thought IOD was the place. Remember those days?
Uh-huh.
Someplace special for crap? This is special. Maybe we got some of those old IOD jingles, those old someplace special for whatever he used to say. Ah, gee, like this.
WILD, deliciously different marijuana, deliciously different marijuana.
All right. Which reminds me, by the way, here's a very bright guy. A Miramar man who was under house arrest awaiting trial on a murder charge was arrested last week after undercover police, posing as Federal Express employees, delivered 20 pounds of pot to the man at a location that was not his house.
Oh!
Leonard Leroy Brown. Oh, I love that name. Leonard Leroy Brown. 29 of the whatever block of Southwest 20th Street in Miramar, was not supposed to leave his home while he was waiting to be tried on the charge of second-degree murder. He was wearing a house arrest bracelet on his ankle, said Miramar Police Captain Douglas Jacoby. Police were alerted to the possibility of drugs Tuesday by employees at the FedEx office in Miramar. They brought narcotics dogs to check out suspicious packages and got a search warrant. The dogs sniffed out 20 pounds of pot.
Oh!
Detectives posing as delivery men took the package to a Miramar address in the 7,000 block of Southwest 38th Court, not knowing who would claim it. They found a note that requested the package be left there. Police left and watched to see who would show up. It was Brown, police said. Big bad Leonard Leroy Brown. He was arrested on charges of possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute, possession of marijuana over 20 pounds, and possession of a counterfeit Social Security card.
Oh!
He was charged with second-degree murder in April of 1998. Police said he shot someone at an apartment complex in East Miramar. Less than a month later, he pleaded not guilty to the charge and was released from jail on a $50,000 bail. His attorney couldn't be reached for no comment yesterday. Brown was taken back to jail after his arrest, this time with no bail. Miramar Sergeant George Pearson, who supervises the homicide investigations, said it's possible that Brown had been doing whatever he pleased while under house arrest. If he's coming and picking up marijuana, he could have been doing anything, he said. Would have a little bracelet on his thing, whatever it was. How do you like that? All he did was go to pick up his weed. Is there anything wrong with that?
No.
Leave the man alone. Murder charge, we might consider that a little bit later on, but if a man wants to go get his 20 pounds of weed, what the hell's wrong with that? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Don't mess with big bad Leonard Leroy Brown. I'll tell you that right now. Here's Fort Myers. Hello.
Neil God.
Yes, sir.
Neil, I was driving around today, and I was noticing all the old people on the road, and I came with a little ditty I'd like to sing to you if you would allow me.
About?
Not old people.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the hip-hop vein. It's called A Million-Year-Old Millionaire. I'm a million-year-old millionaire, got the Lincoln Continental with the ice-cold air, got the curb feelers and the Continental kit and the adult diapers because I can't control my Schmidt. I'm cruising around town, my foot light on the throttle with my Frank Sinatra and my oxygen bottle. Got my polyester pants and my wraparound shades with the sound feeding back and my hearing aids. Yeah, I'm a silver fox, I'm bad as a bone, and Vicks Vapo Rub is my favorite cologne. Yeah, I'm a millionaire, I'm a big shot, so you better not park in my handicapped spot. Thanks.
All right. Outstanding. Very good. I give it about a 2.5 on a scale of 8. Not too bad. 567 certainly beats all of the other callers we've had today. I had to go all the way over to Fort Myers to come up with that. Somebody's got something a little bit original. Not a great singing job, but nevertheless, he ain't no professional. 877-785-6345. Makes me Jones for some pizza from Godfather's just hearing that. Not that we're getting any. Don't get your hopes up. It's just Jones for it. Where's that menu again? Of course, I could always stop on the way home and get me a bacon cheeseburger pie. Yeah, I said to Joe this morning, I said, boy, the bacon cheeseburger is what we should have gotten. He said, you mean getting from a pizza place a bacon cheeseburger? You don't know your Godfathers, man. That's a pizza, bacon cheeseburger pizza, humble pie pizza. At least one thing about these people, even though they were vanished from the scene for a long time, they still have the original same stuff.
There's only one Godfather that I know.
And that's because they didn't vanish from the scene other living and breathing places. For example, if you look around the state, they're in Tampa. They're in 2 in Jacksonville, Orlando, Kissimmee, Wesley Chapel, wherever the hell that is. Where's Wesley Chapel? 813. That must be the one by Fort Myers. They're in Brandon, Nokomis. There's one of my favorite places. Oh! Clearwater, and now in Davie. And, of course, all over the country with the headquarters. I think wasn't the CEO a Schwarzer from this company, I do believe? I think so. A darky? Here's a Maplewood, New Jersey call. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
Hey, I just want to say pray Jesus and God bless Kurt Warner, and I hope him and his wife die of slow stomach cancer.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you something. Did you overhear Boomer yesterday call Eddie George a monkey?
No.
You didn't hear that?
No.
Al Michaels tried to drown it out.
Uh-huh. That was great. Maplewood, New Jersey, huh? He's probably like right up there on 441 in Monkey Town. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877-785-6345 on our famous real out-of-town line, not for ersatz out-of-town like that. Here's a mobile in Fort, that's like that mobile in Sweden we had last week. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale, hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Were you guys talking about Godfather's Pizza, the pizza joint from the 80s?
Yeah.
Are they left here in Florida?
What did I just get through saying? Are you listening to the show?
I was on hold, I'm sorry.
There's one in Davie, yes, by Davie Road Extension, right by next to the Hess station, connected to it. You know where that
Really?
is?
How long has it been there?
About 2 minutes.
Have you ever tried that big sloppy from On Your Subs?
No.
You should go to a drive and say you want a big sloppy, you know. Makes you feel all silly.
Uh-huh. Okay, thanks. Put Clarence on that assignment, okay? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line.
She was at least very attractive.
Yeah. So what does that mean?
At least he's got some taste. It wasn't some big.
That's not the point. The point is, here he goes to your birthday party. Everybody's wasted. It's obviously a wild scene. Somebody has to call the cops. A good time was had by some, and he's like sucking on some chick's arm, and that's the highlight of his night?
Yeah.
Oh. But then I bet he was so frustrated when he got home, called his bookie, and bet another $500 on the Super Bowl.
Oh!
Nice going there, Clarence. Very, very tragic. People think I'm making this stuff up. I'll give you another example. Remember our friend Corey Sabin is over there in Fort Myers right now? Corey was a good-looking guy with no hair, but nevertheless, he looked pretty good. Couldn't get laid. Couldn't get laid in the French whorehouse. Here's Pompano Beach. Hello.
Hey, Dave Weinstein is master of puppets.
Yeah. Sounds like Muhammad Ali from that spot. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Yeah, I've got a quick question about that IBS you were talking about earlier.
Question about it?
Yeah. Actually, I've heard about it before, but I never really paid too much attention. And the symptoms that you were saying, that's totally me for like the whole past year.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to find out if you knew if there's anywhere I could get any information on it, like on the web or anywhere
Sure.
that you know.
Sure, just look under irritable bowel syndrome. Or look under Schmidt. What are you laughing about? Why are you laughing?
Oh.
Sir?
Yes.
What's funny about it?
Nothing funny about it.
Then why are you laughing?
I've never had it. Because I was looking for a little better answer than that.
You said, is there a place to find something out on the Internet? I said, look under irritable bowel syndrome, and you'll find pages and pages of stuff on it. You can look in USA Today today, sir, on page, whatever pages. There's a whole big article about it, on the health and behavior thing.
Oh, okay. See, that's what I was looking for. USA Today?
Right.
Alrighty.
Page
And,
10D.
10D.
D as in dumb, D. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT. But you see, look at this. It's noon already. Noon already, just like that. Before you know it, it'll be 2 o'clock. Pizza from Godfather's will be here. And screw these bastards. Yeah, I say we call them up. What do you say? No what?
You're just trying to bait me into saying yes so you can say no.
You want to say yes. Let me ask you, do you want one or not? Don't give me an answer. Don't give me a politically correct answer. Would you like a pizza from Godfather's Day? Our buddy Scott over there, he said any time. Because I don't think we did justice to them on Friday by having that poor kid came over here, got lost, didn't know where he was going.
He was a good guy, though.
He was a great guy. Well, I'm not blaming him. Somebody gave him bum directions. He was a very good guy. And he stood here with his, put a glove on. I thought that was impressive. Put on a nice rubber glove before he handled our lettuce and our cheese and our meat. And what's wrong with putting a glove on before you handle somebody's meat? Well, I think the super combo sounds really good to me. Huh? Why are you staring at me like that? Because you want it, and you think I'm going to blame you if I get sick from it. Did I get sick from this stuff on Friday?
No.
No, I'm not like some kind of an invalid now.
That was your cheat day, though, for the whole week.
Yeah. Well, that's not for broadcast, though.
Whoops.
Yeah, nice going. So I guess you just talked yourself out. And I'll give you the number during the break. 4 minutes till noon at 560 QAM.
This is 560 QAM. Wake up with the first team.
No.
Joe Rose, Jeff DeForest, and Steve Goldstein.
No.
Steve mornings at 6. Only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
WQAM. Oh! Miami, Fort Lauderdale. are the arrogant Cubans of Miami.
All right.
When we don't get our way, we stamp our feet. You will grant us our demands or we'll get angry and resort to blocking traffic in the street. We know that killing can run up in the island, but we're the most important people in our minds. Elián! The favorite killer! We unite and fight for human causes. On cue with the news, cameras red, flashing lights. Action! Yes, with the most important people in the universe. At least as far north as the Miami-Dade County line.
12:01 at 560 WQM. I noticed Michael Putney was conspicuously missing yesterday from his post at 11:30 on Channel 10 or whatever time that morning, Sunday morning show was on, that awful abortive thing of his. And there was some other bozo on there with Armando Gutierrez propagandizing same old tired crap. Probably Michael is in hiding in embarrassment after Tomas Regalado made a fool out of money here the other night. I don't blame you, Mike. So anyway, Carl Hyacin says Planet Alien, but I'm not going to read it on the air. It's the same. Great editorial. Nice going there, Carl. Great column. But I'm not going to read it because it says basically the same thing that we all know. 5670560 WQAM.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Oh, geez, you got me cold.
Well, Joe's ordering pizza from Godfather's now. I told him not to, but he is anyway.
I got a question for you now. Is that a separate place, Godfather, or is that attached to something?
Attached to the Hess station.
To the Hess station, because, you got me fired up with that.
Not sure where you get the better gas, but it's attached right to Hess.
I was so disappointed. I went to Tampa to visit a couple friends, and there was a Godfather's up in Tampa.
On Hillsborough Boulevard, yes.
Yeah, and
11425 West Hillsborough, to be exact.
Oh, God. I just got shut out, and I was so disappointed because...
What do you mean you got shut out? They closed the windows?
No, I called around 10:30 from a hotel, and
I
it closed at 10 that night. I thought I was never going to get a chance at this great Godfather's Pizza. But
2860 Davie Road Extension, right by 595. You know where... What the hell is that? Big Boy? Isn't there a Big Boy there or something? Or there used to be anyway.
Big Boy or Bad Boy?
Yeah, Bad Boy, Big Boy.
No problem. I'll find it. 2860. No,
there's a Miami Subs on it. Right by Davie Road and 595. There's a Miami Subs on the other side of the street.
Now, if I could switch subjects about this damn game. I mean, they think because it's a good finish that the game was good all around.
No, it's not.
To me, the game was the marginal bowl.
The game was very weak until the last quarter.
The last quarter, correct.
Terminal.
5 times in the red zone, St. Louis, who does nothing but score. They couldn't.
Right.
Did you see Isaac Bruce drop that ball going into the end zone? He's smiling, running back to the huddle.
But didn't he catch the pass and score the winning touchdown, though?
He called the pass and scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that astonished me. When that guy Bishop got carried off, and they had Tony Dorsett's kid who can't defend anybody,
right.
and practically
That's
tackle
right.
anybody, why didn't they stick to the air? Why were they so thick-headed that they thought they were going to run? Dick Vermeil wanted to give this game away, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's amazing, and Kurt Warner praising God's making me sick. I mean, I'm tired of this. Doesn't he think there's anybody on Tennessee that wants to praise God?
No, only Kurt and Isaac, man. They're the only guys they got the bat line.
They got the bat line,
the inside line. And of course, you have to wonder if they got the bat line. How come Kurt Warner's wife had that battle with cancer and looks like that with that awful dykey haircut because her hair didn't grow back? How come?
Don't tell that to Kurt Warner, because that's part of him being a messenger sent down by God.
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
Just sort of like Reggie White with that Powerful Living commercial.
Right.
Not to send out for a book, but if you order, you can start your personal relations with God.
You got it.
You got it. And please, Neil, I'm going to close it. Can somebody beat the Capitals once? I mean, we lose a game to New Jersey with 1 second left, and the Capitals won a game Friday night against Phoenix, and it goes with no time left in overtime. Can Kurt Warner please talk to God?
Didn't they shut out Philadelphia yesterday 2-0? I enjoyed very much. Sure, I loved it. Nice going there, Capitals. I don't like either team, but boy, I hate the Flyers. I despise the Flyers. They make me want to barf. They make me nauseous. And even with big number 25, who used to be 55, even with big Keith Primo in there, didn't they get shut out?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Boynton Beach. Hello.
Hey, Uncle Neil, how you doing?
Great.
Hey,
I'm tired of a few of these things. The commercials that they're putting on the Super Bowl, what's up? There's more commercials than there is, football playing.
Well, it's all over now, though, sir. It's all over, you know?
Yeah, it is all over, but, I mean, it's getting ridiculous. It just increases every year,
Incessant promos and commercials and breaks, and it's a miracle. Only because the game was actually moving along itself in terms of penalties and so on, the game didn't last till midnight.
That's true.
A miracle.
Well, these gas prices are going up. $1.60 a gallon I'm paying for gas. It's ridiculous. It's going to be $2 a gallon soon. These people don't know what they're going to be getting into here soon. All the prices of everything it's skyrocketing. I'm tired of it.
I'd call my broker right now and sell everything I had.
Jesus Christ. Everybody's buying Japanese cars. Everywhere you look.
Okay,
Japanese
I'll see at the gas station, okay? I don't know what their gas prices are, but they're right by Godfather's. Yeah, the Dow's up 11 points. Let's hear it. Is that going to last?
No.
No, and the NASDAQ, NASDAQ's taking another pummeling down 137. You remember that expression, what was it? Something exuberance, irrational exuberance. Remember that, what Alan Greenspan was talking about? Well, you don't because you don't have any stock. Anyway, that was like way back when. Irrational exuberance he was afraid of, and then everybody started selling their stock. Now we've got irrational hysteria, whatever the opposite of irrational pessimism. And so there's one little report comes out, or they don't like this statistic, and right away, like that. And of course, the whole economy, you've seen the pictures there, especially the commodity markets, and they're all running around, sell it, like that. And that's what the whole economy is all about. And then these clowns come on here like real intellectuals, and they're having all these great pseudo-intellectual conversations, like there's a rational thing going on there, and they're not. It's craziness. Terrifying. But the Dow's up 14 points. Let's hear it. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. So what our friends at Godfather say? Were they somewhat taken aback?
They were happy. They'll have it here just after 2. That's a joke. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. And now that they know the way, there's no excuse, right? Although they may be sending somebody different. I don't know.
No, JR is.
JR is coming. That's our boy, JR. He knows the place. He knows how to get here. Never stole a freight train, that JR. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT on a desperate Monday, the worst in recent memory. And you better not knock that Elián, okay? Because if it weren't for him, what we've been talking about the last 2 months, nothing. Sir, it's scary. Just stop and think about it. If it weren't for all of this crap, would we have had anything going on here?
No.
You got Jimmy and Danny and Elián, and that's it. That's all you got here in this town. So if you're from out of town and you want to have a conversation with somebody, it better be about Jimmy, Danny, Davy, or Elián. Otherwise, they'll look at you with a blank look on their face and go,
yeah.
Like what you be talking about, man. Here's a mobile in Melbourne. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Go back to Canada, you Jew.
Yeah, okay. Great one. 14 minutes and 12 seconds, of course, on our dime. Great material. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Pinecrest. Hello.
Hello, Neil. How are you?
Okay.
First of all, I'm glad to be getting out of this Schmidt hole, and I'm going to Toronto for the first time, and I heard it's really nice. Let me tell you something. About 3 years ago, I had a colorectal problem, and it turned out to be, thank you, Crohn's disease, so they claim.
It was what?
Crohn's disease.
Crohn's, yeah.
Irritable colitis.
I once worked for Lou Crone at W Snooze. I had Crohn's disease. Talk out of there.
Yeah, well, at any rate, they poked and they prodded and they ran more tests, and it was just a horrible experience. But they found out what it was, and I stopped Schmidt in the bed, and they put me on a medication called Asacol.
Yeah.
And it worked, and it firmed things up, so to
I'm
speak.
so sorry that you told me that, because now there are going to be 600 old farts calling in.
What was that medication he was talking?
Don't even write it down, Joe. We didn't hear you. Whatever you said, and I believe it.
Neil, have a nice day.
What is it?
I wish you a nice day.
Oh, and have a nice life. Okay. Look at that. The Dow's up 32 points.
Oh!
Let's hear it for the goddamn Dow. Not that it means anything, but psychologically it makes you feel just a little better, don't it? Yeah. Just wait till about 2:30 when it starts going like that. Hey, if you've been going like that too much, you better go to the lights of West Boca, but not have too much. And you know, Peter Leonard brought in a bunch of stuff again this morning. That idiot Peter Leonard. I'm going to fix his ass real good very soon, believe you me.
Jim Polkapper talks sports.
Oh, yeah.
Right here on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Oh,
love of football, playing goalie. Plays for the Cleveland Browns. He got a flag in his eye and he lost his mind and threw the referee on the ground.
Oh!
Will they kicked him out of the game? And hinting further abuse. You say all is well or he'll go to hell. It's all up to tackling up, boo boo boo. Now he'd be mad, Orlando Brown, throwing the referee on the ground, being an NFL jock. Did you never hear the jail cell lock? Check it out, baby. Every sports franchise never met a criminal they didn't like. Now if you can catch the ball or run with the ball, then rape and murder, that'd be alright. As long as they can fill the bleachers and sell out Sunday's game, well, who cares? Who gets money long as they're making money? If the lamb is like you, do the wave. He'd be mad, Orlando Brown, throwing the referee on the ground. Being an NFL job means you never hear the jail cell lock.
No.
Being an NFL job.
Oh!
Means you never hear the jail cell lock.
12:13 at 560 WQM. So he sucked on her arm, huh? And that's when she said,
No.
Adios. Sucked on her arm. Not the classiest move I've ever heard of in my life.
He was doing well up to that point.
Up until he got to the arm. Well, it all depends on where he started. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a lady in Davie. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, this is Bonnie. How are you?
Okay, Bonnie.
I love your show.
Of course. What's not to like, Bonnie?
That's true. You're on it. Hey, you're talking about the Godfather's Pizza. Have you ever tried John the Baker in Pembroke Pines?
No.
The best pizza.
Mm-hmm.
You sound interested. Well, and in closing, could you play Ganja Be Good?
No.
Oh, thanks.
Have a nice day, Bonnie.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Woo! Let's talk pizza shops. Come on.
No.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about the diarrhea.
No.
Let's talk about that drug that guy was talking about for his Crohn's disease.
No.
Wow. 56705. Let's face it, it's a boring place, okay? I mean, if I really had something really revolutionary to tell you was going on here, I'd tell you about it. Is there anything going on?
No.
We got that New Hampshire primary tomorrow night. And what, this Bill Bradley, I got to admit, isn't it amazing how they brainwash the public? They convinced all of us, even somebody as usually sharp as me, that Al Gore had no chance of beating George Bush, okay, George E.W. So, okay, Bill Bradley, he's got a better chance, even though he's just as boring, and now his heart is flopping all over the place. And now, all of a sudden, the new poll yesterday, Gore 44, Bush 47. It's almost even Steven. It's within a statistical error, margin of error in the poll. Which I should have known, because I remember very well when Michael Dukakis was 7,000 points ahead of George Bush. Did he win?
No.
No. Those polls, a year and a half, a year ahead, they mean nothing. So now, tomorrow night's a big night in New Hampshire, and of course that represents the rest of the country, don't it?
No.
Real well? All those crusty New Hampshire people, all 40 of them? Yeah, right. It's really just bizarre. Just go away. It's going to be George E.W. against Gore, and Gore's going to kick his ass. You watch. You mark my words. Huh? From 2001 to 2004, it's going to be Presidente Gore. It's got kind of a ring to it. So he's a boring guy. I can't help him, but he never stole a freight train. He's a pretty good guy. His heart works okay. His heart, forget about it, works okay. At least it's in the right place. The one thing they have in common, though, is that, both of them had a famous daddy who was like, there was Senator Gore and there was President Bush. And, of course, President Bush, don't forget, the CIA, the Trilateral Commission. Let's start planting the seeds with all those right-wing nutcases that are terrified of anybody named Bush. Trilateral. The Illuminati, there you go. Try that one on for size. That's right. Who do you think put him in there in the first place? The CIA, my ass. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? I was in New York this weekend, and talking about getting away from this whole Elián thing. I'm sitting in a bar in New York, and all of a sudden the cabaret singer's like, "Oh, where are you people from?" And we're like, "We're from Miami." Immediately she jumps into the whole, "Oh, what do you think about the whole Elian Gonzalez thing? Should he stay or should he go?" And we were just like, "Oh my God," just could not get away from it. Totally, just could not get away from it.
Well, that's us. We've been branded, man, all over the world. We're branded with that.
Yeah, totally. Anybody that's from Miami, just start talking about Elian. You can just start a conversation with anybody. But just wanted to call and say that I love your show.
Okay, pal.
Take care.
See ya. Say hi to Elian. How you doing, Elian? How's all your toys from Kmart this week, Elian? How's that little puppy? I sure hope he's healing up from the way you keep carrying him around by under his front legs, which is very bad. No, I am. That's about the only thing I care about anymore with that Elian thing is that he stops abusing that puppy. You don't slap a little puppy around or any kind of a dog under its front arms with all the weight of it lying. How do you like somebody to hang out carrying him around under his front arms with his other 6 pounds dangling down there over some hot coals? Here's a mobile in Weston. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
You the man. Hey, Neil, I got a couple of questions, then I'll hang up.
Yeah.
I want to know how many Cubans plan to go back when Cuba...
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Hallandale. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
First time caller, long time listener.
Great.
I just had
This
to let
could be
you
the
know,
one we're waiting for.
I just had a guy I was stopping at a light, going about 5 miles an hour, and
Yeah.
I puts his blinker on in the van next to me and cuts me off. I mean, within an inch of my bumper.
He's an asshole.
Yes, and I did a stupid thing, but I pulled up next to him and I said, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
And he said to me, "I had my blinker on. I have the right of way. You have to move."
Oh, he
That's
put
our
his blinker
driver.
on. I didn't know that. In other words, if you put your blinker on, you got to get out of his way.
That's correct.
No, I'm starting to learn. It's never too late to learn. I never knew
That's
that
it.
before.
I didn't know that.
Until this moment, I always thought it was Tattaglia all the time.
That's it.
Okay, thanks,
Thanks,
pal.
Neil.
Thanks for the good news. There you go, a little driving information for you, and boy, could they use it around here.
Uh-huh.
Man, you can't complain about the driving this time because there isn't much. What passes off as driving here, I wouldn't wish on Heinrich Himmler. Pathetic. Bunch of retards out there. This morning I'm coming to work. I'm coming out University, taking my little shortcut there to 595 because I don't want to get backed up all the way out there to West Broward. And that's generally a pretty problem-free thing there. And here's some young, very attractive, by the way, but I didn't care because it was a woman. But anyway, some young broad in the car in front of me and some old Toyota piece of crap. And the light changes, and the cars are like going in front of her, and she's sitting there, and she's doodling and diddling. A lot of doodling and diddling this morning, by the way. And I gave her a little tap of the horn. I don't like leaning on it, but nevertheless. And she's still doodling and diddling. And finally, 3 or 4 other people started honking it, and, oh, yeah, I guess I better drive. Too much diddling and reaching for stuff on the seats and doing all kinds of extraneous crap. Instead of like getting in that vehicle, turning the ignition on, putting the pedal to the metal, and getting from point A to point B. I hate to break the news to some of you morons out there. That's what driving's all about. Not fixing your hair, not picking your nose, not yanking your thing, but getting in the car and getting from point A to point B. What a concept. Is that what they do here?
No.
No, they're out there diddling around. And I'll tell you one other thing that pisses me off. We have a lot of truckers listening to the show, wonderful people, I love them, but there's nothing worse than somebody driving a big, obnoxious truck that takes up half the road, getting in the left-hand lane on the highway and going nowhere. You know the ones I'm talking about? Like they got a convoy going. You know, they get next to whoever's in the middle lane, and they just kind of sit there, backing everybody's ass up. And you just and people are starting to like try to pass on the right and on the shoulder and doing irrational things. Here's Fort Myers. Hello. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out of town line, 877-785-6345. Even a few assholes in Fort Myers today. Must be Asshole Monday is what it is. Parade of assholes we've had today. Had a couple of, did we have any? 1 or 2. I mean, nothing really memorable. The guy that sang from Fort Myers, he was pretty good. Nice going there, sir. You stand out, heads above the rest. We'll be sure and put in a good word with Jesus for you. 5670560. Oh, yeah, I want to thank my Lord and Savior first of all, and yabba-da-ba-da. You know what? They ought to send him back to that goddamn store and pile the toilet paper on the, because he's full of Schmidt, that Kurt Warner. Do you think he played a great game yesterday? I don't. I mean, you can't complain about the Titans secondary because they don't have any. Other than that, he didn't play a great game. He didn't do squat. He didn't do Schmidt.
The big TD was underthrown.
Yeah, that's right. The defensive back wouldn't have been out there spinning around like a dreidel. And, of course, Jesus had him by the one arm and God had him by the other. And they were spinning him around. So Isaac get his hands out. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. All right. Yeah, he yelled, come on, Jesus. Come on, touchdown, Jesus. Went right on in there. Stuck it right in there, and the ball, too. It was an exciting finish, though. Thank God. Thank God we finally had a Super Bowl. And you know something? See, one thing about the commercials, if an event gets as much hype as a Super Bowl does, and what people are talking about the next day is the commercials, that tells you usually the game is a piece of schmidt, which it usually is. And you notice now there are far fewer people talking about the commercials, thank God, since most of them sucked, than about the exciting finish of the game. So we finally had something worth to stand up and watching. And then, of course, as soon as they started with those stupid speeches, off it went to something else. Immediately. I even watched part of the goddamn Blackhawks Vancouver game last night for about 2 minutes. Here's a mobile in Davie. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I want to mention something I saw on the Herald front page last week sometime about a couple of the black agencies and NAACP,
what was that one again?
I think it was the NAACP and a couple other agencies.
The National Association for the Advancement of Coon People, yes?
Yeah. They're bringing suits to in this country against to get reparations for the
reprobates, yeah.
Yeah, for tolerance of slavery. They want to get paid like the Japanese did for on the West Coast during the internment.
Uh-huh.
But
right.
How about what about all the other countries that were engaging in slavery, the blacks against blacks, thousands of years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we the ones that are being faulted?
Well, they're next. They're going to have to pay up next.
Oh, hold your breath.
Okay.
Hey, did that Cipro work, or you haven't used it?
I feel fine. I feel great. No more sick talk, sir. I'm not taking Cipro. I'm not taking other people's pills. I'm not taking other people's antibiotics. I feel sensational.
Oh!
I can feel it.
Oh!
That's right. Even Tommy stuck his head in the door there and said, "What is wrong with that clearance sucking on that broad's arm?" 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Well, he just needs somebody to show him the ropes. Here's a mobile in Palm Beach. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I think what happened with that football game, Jesus had his oar in the ball there, where that little hole is where they put the air in there.
Yeah.
He had his oar in there.
He had his what? Aura. He had his He was doing the horror in there, yeah. Jesus was doing the horror inside the football, inside the pigskin.
11 o'clock, you badgered the caller about hockey. You said he wanted to talk about Pavel.
And?
Why did you badger him?
Badger him about what?
You hung up on him.
That was the first caller. He was a chronic. He's a crank.
He wanted to talk about hockey.
He's a chronic crank. Go hock somebody else at Chinook, will you, jackass? 567. Boy, we got the chronics out today, or what? Huh? Keep them off the streets anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if that pizza shows up here real soon. Then Joe's going to be real sorry that he's been sucking on that smoothie all morning long, because that fills you up. It's like loaded with gas. Is that like a fruit smoothie? Is that what that is?
Raspberry Sunrise.
Yeah, but I bet you it's full of sugar. Pure sugar.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say, yeah, like that? I'm not trying to dictate. You're not like obese or anything, but what are you eating crap when you got this good pizza coming?
I'm okay. I'm ready for the pizza.
Even after all those drugs you did Saturday?
No drugs Saturday, just lots of
sex. And how about your... Oh, I'm not going to go in it. 26 past noon at 560 WQAM. I mean, somebody goes to a guy's wild birthday party that is as wild as it sounds like it was and doesn't even get just a little bit of action. I mean, that person there, what can you say about that person?
Yeah.
I mean, Boca Brian, of course, we know in his case, we don't expect anything to happen. Maybe somebody might have rubbed his bald spot a little bit. And believe me, they didn't. They stayed far away. Boca Brian, I guarantee you, Clarence could have sucked on his arm as long as he wanted. He wouldn't have said no. He wouldn't have walked away. He'd have loved it. He would. He just said, keep on sucking.
You're probably right.
I am positive I'm right.
Boca did well, though. He was the life of the,
Couldn't have been much of a party. Overblown, it sounds to me. 26 past noon, that's probably why the cops came. 26 past 12 at 560 WQAM.
Only one South Florida radio station has the and you're listening to it at Goldberg, weekday afternoons at 2, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Want a lollipop, little boy?
Yes.
We dance like Sissies, we sing like wussies, but we must tell you swear we're not gay. If you wore
Are you?
these outfits to class, they would kick your ass. Regardless, we swear we're not gay. We look like interior designers. We sing like a bunch of girly whiners. But we're straight. Our agent says we gotta say, we swear we're not gay. Our biggest fans are 12-year-old girls who think we're as cute as can be. Yeah.
Boy!
As they get older, they all figure out we're hiding our latency. One thing is for sure, we get manicures. Wash our clothes on the delicate cycle. Want to do a session with your Michael, but today we think that we had better say, we swear we're not gay. I swear we're not gay.
12:31. Thank God for that. 12:31 at 560 WQM. Hank will be doing a show from Vegas today.
Oh!
Not that I'm jealous or anything. And we'll probably get the inside, the lowdown on that. Well, I'm not sure if we will or not, because he's still got to come back. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, if it was a crappy deal on the airline, he won't tell us until he gets back, which will be on Thursday. This schedule, boy, is really bizarre. We got Mandates tomorrow afternoon, Mandates at Chula's Wednesday, Hank on the Royal Caribbean on Thursday. So like almost nobody is doing a show in that studio for the next days on end. Mandates will be in there tomorrow, and after that it's like they're all over the place, punching their guts out. On your illegal gambling station for the 90s. Why don't we just change our call letters to WGA? Sounds good to me. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Joe is very dismayed over the fact that so many of these punks over there, not only can't they get laid, but they're just, up to their ears in hock. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this year, before the next, we turn the year on the next calendar, that we get several broken legs in that bullpen.
Maybe I'll start loan sharking.
Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
Neil, I have a question and then a comment, and I'd like to get your reaction to both. Who is this guy, Armando Gutierrez?
He's the family spokesman, sir.
The schmokesman?
He's the schmokesman, yeah. Who's got his hand in all the judges' pockets, allegedly?
Well, I've been doing a little research on the Internet, and this guy's name, to find out who this guy Gutierrez is.
He's the spokesman.
Yeah, but he's like also the puppet master that's guiding this whole PR frenzy.
He's got a puppet in his pants, yeah.
He's got a puppet in his hand. I think he's probably controlling Jorge Mas Santos and the Elian family.
And Judy Mascanosa?
Yeah. But apparently I've checked up on this guy, and he's also the guy that represented the judge in her campaign for the Elian
We
case.
know that. This is old news, sir. It's
And let me
stale.
give you something that you
Old
probably
and
don't
stale.
recall.
Okay.
Do you remember the Versace murder when
Yeah.
the watchman on the boat there?
Right.
The same Gutierrez created a whole monster publicity campaign to get the guy the reward money.
Well, that's his thing. He's a PR guy. They just left out the last three letters. He's a PR man.
Now they've signed a deal with CBS to do a 4-hour miniseries.
Okay, well, call us back when you get some new news. Thank you. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Stale. Oh, you can smell it. Wow. Woo. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. He looked it up on the Internet.
Oh!
All right. Here's Stuart. Hello.
Neil, Buenos Aires.
Yes, sir.
Neil, I've been listening to your show. I'm a first-time caller, a long-time sufferer.
All right.
What's the origin of the phrase, which I've never heard before, a hawk and a chinik? I never heard that before.
Chinese.
And what does it mean?
It means when you're in fact, the sports nerds I was just talking about, they can relate to it. When it gets tough and the guy comes to collect the cash, they hawk the china.
Is it a
Pawn shop lingo.
Oh, okay. Is it an East Coast kind of deal?
What
an
is
East
it?
Coast phrase?
Yeah, it have to be from the East Coast of Florida.
Oh, okay. And could you put me on the list for the Dolphin Jacksonville tickets, please?
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Out of town line. This is seriously, this is the biggest bunch of losers I've ever, and it's only 12:30. I mean, we got a long way to go. God only knows we can top this. Who can tell? Is this phenomenal or what? Come on, let's talk about swing clubs, Cubans, and religion. Now, what are you laughing about? That's what you said on Friday. You said when George does this show, even though the intellectuals call in, you said all he talks about is swing clubs, Cubans, and religion. I think that now that he's sick and got the flu real bad, and his lovely wife also, I think that's bad for you to be picking on a guy when he's down.
I've never been so insulted in all my life.
Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil.
Yes.
Good morning. Or afternoon, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
Pardon my voice. I was screaming my head up during the Super Bowl. I just got a question to ask you. Wasn't it crazy that they show too many computer commercials instead of, the funny ones, like they normally show?
Well, they show commercials based on who buys them. See, I mean, I know that's tough to understand, but it depends on who buys the time. That's what they show. In other words, if that Muhammad Ali, that horrible spot, they would have bought every spot in the Super Bowl, God forbid, that's all you would have seen.
But truthfully, though, wasn't that something when we seen Ali like that? I mean, God bless him, I mean, I hope he lives forever.
Awful. Awful. That was the word. That was the most depressed. What was the point of that spot? What was the message?
Well, it was just showing that he's probably feeling a little bit healthier, I guess. Maybe he's having some
healthier? He could barely breathe.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, maybe the medicine's helping in the surgery, like Michael J. Fox.
It didn't look like he was helping. It looked like every gasp anyone could be his last gasp. What spot were you watching, man?
Well, I'm a little nervous. I've never talked to you.
Yeah, but nevertheless, I know. Get out of here. Looked like he was coming along. Man, oh man, I thought he was going to expire right in the middle of the spot. Although it was kind of promising to see he could stay in one spot like that long. And Janet, she can't do that. She's shaking it.
That was trick photography.
Oh, I see. Sure better than the trick photography to put Chris Reeves on the head of that gorilla. And that was so bad. That was, I mean, to think that they spend $2 million a spot, and then not to mention how many millions to produce those spots, and that's the best they could do. 5670560. But of course, the people that watch that game, most of them, by the time the game finally comes on, are so blitzed out of their mind they don't know what's going on anyway. Yeah, the Super Bowl gives football a new meaning for the term blitz. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I didn't say I never stole a freight train. I said I was never convicted of stealing a freight train.
Meaning?
I might have hijacked the truck, but I'm...
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out of town line, 877-785-6345. 22 till 1. That pizza will be here before you know it. Then we'll put him to the true test. That's right. At Hess, they got high test, and today it's the true test. Now, what did we get? I sure hope you got the bacon cheeseburger pizza like I told you.
You wanted the BLT, right? And a dozen wings.
Yeah. A wing and a prayer. How's Westlife doing, by the way? Flying without wings?
Everybody's looking for that something.
Yeah, they're doing it. And by the way, speaking of Blue by Eiffel 66, who's the first person in America to play that record months and months ago?
Oh, God.
Right here on this show. Kid Curry, he won't play it because he don't like it. I mean, don't get me wrong about Kid Curry. He's not a bad guy, and he's right that Anna had a big ass. But Jesus, I mean, the program director doesn't play a song because he doesn't like it? It's like number one half in the world. He don't play it because he doesn't like it? What kind of a communist bunch of crap is that? Man.
Idiotic.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. 21 till 1. See, it's almost 1 o'clock already. The pizza will be here in no time. We'll eat lunch, and we'll be out of here. And you've been sitting in there with a long push today just because these calls suck. I don't care anymore. I do not care. I do not care. I'm here for the money. Give me the effing check. Give me the money. Let me out of here. I'll be gone before you know it, and have a great life. That's it. That's why I feel so much better. Just knowing that this place was getting me down to the point where whatever I got a bad bowl of grits, which gave me the schmitz, and knowing that this place also was compounding to my near suicidal state of mind. And I said to them, that Geldy's got the right attitude. And, of course, anybody with a voice like him that could be on a radio, he's got to have the right attitude. You know what I mean? Yeah. So screw it. Screw them. Engineer, it puts out a memo, not for broadcast. Am I impressed?
No.
To him. He's an engineer like my little dog is a goddamn heart surgeon. By the way, Tiny, got an appointment at 3.
No portion of this broadcast may be
No.
without the express written permission of WQAM Beasley Reed Acquisition Corp. Yeah.
MONDAYSUCKS. I met a priest when I was 11.
All right.
He said he would save my soul, but we made a detour on the way to heaven, and into his bedroom we did take a stroll. Well, he was standing in his underwear, told me to bend over and say a prayer. Pulled up his robe and went back, thank you, ma'am. I got molested by the preacher man behind the rectory. The next day I felt like a sinner, and I showed up to get communion. Put on my tongue that wasn't a wafer, and it wasn't wine dripping off my chin.
Squirt, squirt.
Well, he was standing in his underwear, told me to bend over and say a prayer. Pulled up his robe and went, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. I got molested by the preacher man behind the rectory.
Rectum.
Yeah, he was standing in his underwear, told me to bend over and say a prayer. Pulled up his robe and went, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. I got molested by the preacher man behind the rectory.
12:45 at 5:60. I noticed that this article about the airport, the ongoing Herald stories that continue uncovering stuff they should have uncovered 20 years ago. Unused, costly rentals waste millions at MIA at Miami International Airport. More than $3,400 was spent to rent a fax machine they could have bought for $496. $820,000 for a garage crisis alert system that basically amounted to exchanging regular phones for no-hand speaker phones. $760,000 for a live feed media cable that no TV crew ever used. Nearly $300,000 for talking elevators to tell people to remember where they parked their cars. More than $620,000 for two fancy phone switchboards that were never used to answer a phone. And they arrested Jim Neighbors. Remember Jim Neighbors? Not him. Different Jim Neighbors. Miami-Dade's chief of aviation telecommunications for illegally accepting gifts for 5 years from Baker Audio Telecom from Norcross, Georgia. Brian Norcross, Georgia, company that handed out free golf trips, dinners, World Series tickets, and other gifts to the supervisor who was signing off on many of the company deals. And here's a picture right here of the $4,300 fax machine. Or $3,400, whatever the hell it is. And it looks just like the cheap $200 one we got sitting back there. How do you like that? Oh! Millions and millions and millions of dollars of your tax money going right down the old toilet. But let's build a stadium for John Henry. What do you say? Come on.
No.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Jupiter. Hello. Jupiter is gone? Long gone. Okay, 567. We got two calls left on the board. Then we can enjoy our lunch in peace once this is over. On a tragic Monday, a day that'll live in infamy, man. FDR, be proud of this. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Mobile in Boynton Beach. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing, Neil?
Okay.
Listen, I was watching the game last night. So Super Bowl. But I was wondering if anybody saw that. I'm sure many people saw that commercial where they got, I don't know, these three guys like Mo, Larry, and Curly sitting on the porch. And at the end, there's a caption on the bottom that says, "We just blew $2 million. What are you doing with your finances?"
Yeah, I talked about it, yeah.
I just got in the car.
The message was it was a piece of crap spot, and how do you manage your money, right? And they're right, it was a piece of crap spot.
It was true. Well, I've been listening to you since back in the snooze days, and this is the first time I've ever called. You're doing a great job, Neil.
Yes, I am. Okay, thank you. God bless you.
Right,
okay, calm down. 567, we got 16,000 open lines here. We're going to make it until 2 of these calls?
No.
I doubt it. I feel some heavy-duty music coming on. I can smell it. Maybe we'll play some Christina Aguilera, huh?
No.
She can't sing for Schmidt, and she weighs about 4 pounds soaking wet. She's got to have naked pictures of somebody. She must have. Does she have any talent at all?
No.
None. Absolutely, positively zero. None. Nada. She makes, you know something? She makes me want to see Celine Dion. And I would rather croak than ever see Celine Dion, much less hear her ever again. That's how much Christina Aguilera turns me off. She makes me nauseous. I mean, generally speaking, you see something that's an attraction with anybody, like Ricky Martin. I mean, if we didn't know who he was, at least if he keeps his mouth shut, he don't look so bad, you know? But some of these people, you just know, that they got the goods on somebody. Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil, how you doing?
Sir. Great.
Hey, well, first of all, I agree with you about the commercials. Actually, there was only one that I liked, and that's when they had those guys herding cats. I thought that was pretty funny.
Didn't see it. The one I liked was the one where Mike Ditka says, "I can't afford to lose this job too." That one's pretty good.
Yeah, and Casino, whatever her name is, I definitely agree with you. I look at her and I'm like, you know, if I was walking in a mall, I would just look at her and say, "Oh, she's nice," and then just continue.
She's nice?
No, I mean, I would just look at her. She's, you know, partly because she's
not nice. She weighs about 4 pounds. And she's got a face that would even a mother could hate.
But I mean, realistically, to me, it's just like
and
boring.
she can't sing.
Absolutely.
But other than that, she's a dynamo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She's a talent monster.
Anyway, I want to switch topics here real quick and talk about I've been following what's been happening in Ecuador, where they've dollarized where they're trying to dollarize the currency, and that's one of the reasons the president that was there got ousted. What's that?
I'm telling Joe what channel. She's on there right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, the president got ousted.
I'm sorry. I repressed it.
Anyway, the president there that was there got ousted by military leaders because big reason they didn't want to dollarize the currency. They thought, you know, with the U.S. there it'd be like demoralizing thing for the country. Well, guess what? The guy who's in power is going to dollarize the currency. Just proves to you, you know, it doesn't matter who's in power. There's always somebody that has to be rich. And the same thing would happen with Batista. You get rid of him and you put $50.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So you know, everybody thinks the grass is greener on the other side. You know, all this class envy or whatever, you know, someone's got to get rich. So it's just, you know, I just think that's really funny. And, you know, I remember when, you know, I wasn't there obviously, but I remember my grandmother telling me about Batista, how terrible it was. Well, look how much worse it is now. You know, I'm Cuban, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, we don't care.
All right, well, I'm just letting you know.
Have a great day, pal.
Thank you.
See you. Do we care about Cubans?
No.
Do we care about Americans?
No.
We don't care about anybody. We just care about human beings. Remember that song about the human beings? What was the song about human beings? Nobody but me, nobody but you, nobody but. What was that song? Boca Brian would know. Nobody But Me by the Human Beings on Capitol Records, I do believe. What do you know about music? I mean, you know, you guys.
I know a fair amount about
Nobody But Me by the Human Beings, B-E-I-N-Z, and
I
you don't know that
that
song? You've heard it. In fact, there's 8 million commercials, speaking of commercials, that they use that. They start out with it on. Blank look. Blank look. Is that your final answer? 567-0560, pound 560 on it. Well, when you're an old fart like me, it comes in handy remembering all those stupid things that nobody cares about anymore. And then you say, oh, gee, you don't know that? God, are you dumb? Here's Fort Myers. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I understand that Corey Saban's been visiting Charles Alfieri.
Yeah, he could use it.
He does have a full head of hair here now.
Now we're talking.
All right.
How come we don't ever hear any spy reports about our close personal friend, Corey Saban? Maybe now that he's got a full head of hair, he can get laid once in a while.
Yeah, and all I have to say about it is, can I hear the old lady saying, oh, my God.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Well, you know something? Just because you mentioned our good close friend Corey Saban's name.
Oh, my God.
How do you like that? To show what a great mood I'm in. I don't really care. Just give me the paycheck. There's that bitch. Oh, she is just... I bet you she don't weigh 13 pounds. I'm serious.
She's not bad.
What?
She's not bad.
Bad what? Looking?
Yeah, she's not bad looking. She's got this porn star look to her. She was on the Mickey Mouse Club.
Who ever heard of a porn star with raisinets for breasts?
It's a definite look. It's a niche.
It's a look. It's a look. It's a look. You know Josh Friedman? That's also a look. and a smell. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Yeah, it's a look. There's no question about it. Here's Dania. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I just want to agree with you on the Al Gore thing. Voting for Al Gore. And with the Bushes, the first thing that came to my mind right before he said it was the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff behind that, and, you know, it's a big subject to get into.
Trilateral Commission, the Bilderbergers, man.
Jesus. But
him too. He's got his finger in it.
Yep.
Now that ball game's over, he can worry about other things.
Exactly. I just wanted to quickly mention to you that there's a movie coming out. I don't know if you heard of it. I think it's called No Skulls or something. That has to do with
No Skulls?
Something Skulls. It's a new movie about teenagers that get into college and they get recruited into the secret society.
Oh, Numbskulls, yeah.
No, yeah, that's that too. Something to really,
I saw the preview. That looked pretty interesting.
That's what I'm saying.
What's the name of that?
Numbskulls or some skulls or school skulls or it's something skulls. That's all I know.
Skulls?
That's all I know.
Okay, great.
But like I said, it kind of reminds me of the.
Then Elian's attorney is going to be in the sequel. It's going to be called Skull Caps.
Right. And Comunista, the Comunista.
And have a great day. So why'd you give me a look like that when I looked in the little mirror here? Because
didn't know what you were doing.
I have this thing which I'm sure you've noticed, this horrendous dry skin problem, but only like on my scalp, like not on my scalp so much, but like here on the upper of my forehead. What?
You're always touching there. That's probably.
Well, no, I'm not touching there. I'm like wiping away that I have dandruff of the forehead, not on my hair, but like in here. And it drives me nuts. It's a look. You know, it's a look to puke from. It's grotesque. It's embarrassing. Oh, man. And I'm not going to bring in like a whole thing of a moisturizing cream in here and sitting dabbing like we're on TV or something. That's what I need, is a magic moisturizer to make my flaky forehead better. Yeah, let's start working on that instead of worrying about goddamn bowels and diarrhea and stuff. Let's worry about something more appetizing, like getting rid of Neil's scaby, whatever that stuff. Oh, you've seen it. You've seen what it's, yeah. And, of course, you've been kind enough never to say, oh, man, you look like, what died on your forehead? But you were thinking that. Yeah, see, you were thinking it. Now, George, on the other hand, now he don't pay any attention. He does his best not to look in here. And, of course, the feeling is mutual. Wonderful guy, but who wants to see him? 5670560 pound 5. What? Now, what is wrong with that? It's true. He's a great guy. I love George. He's fantastic. He does a ton of work. But, you know, he's George. I mean, there's like people like Miguel, and then there's people like George. They're both Cuban.
George has his fans.
What do you mean by that?
He's got a good-looking wife.
Yes. And
way
little
over
girl.
his head.
He's in way over his head? Is that what you just said?
Well, he married over his head. I mean,
yeah.
How does George get like a 6'1"?
Because he never sucked her arm. 12:57 at 560 QAM.
This is 560 QAM. Wake up with the first team. Joe Rose, Jeff DeForest, and Steve Goldstein. Weekday mornings at 6. Only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
It's the 1 to 2 hour. Hi, Vay. As long as I'm swinging and the naked chicks keep my ding-dong dinging, I'll keep on swinging my slong. You know I'll always be smiling when the towel comes off and I go diving. I'll lob a throbbing ding-dong. You're not alone in the back as you swing the night away. A little drink, a little dance, not to mention a nice buffet. As long as I'm swinging and the naked chicks keep my ding-dong dinging, I'll keep on swinging my slong. Some may call it lurid, having consensual sex, but all you purists to fuck her up and kiss my ass long as I'm swinging. Rectum. I don't care what anybody's thinking. I'll keep on swinging my. I'll keep on swinging my. I'll keep on swinging my. Long.
It's 101 at 560 WQM, our big 1 to 2 hour. Hank will be here from Vegas this afternoon. Panther hockey, by the way, tomorrow night. In fact, we got all kinds of Panthers tomorrow. We got the Florida Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow, and the Pitt Panthers and the Miami. Look at that. Now, wait, I just noticed that. How could that possibly ever happen again? We got the Florida Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes on QAM tomorrow night, and on Waxy, our sister-in-law, when we need their frequency station, you got the Pitt Panthers and the Miami Hurricane basketball. We got 2 Panther Hurricane games tomorrow, simultaneous. So anyway, years ago, many years ago, before you were born, so I had a part-time job in Rochester at Midtown Records, and I was working nights in Batavia WBTA, my first full-time radio job. So at any rate, I worked for 2 guys, not bad guys, Ed Lyons and Bob Desbecker. And Bob they were the owners of the chain Midtown Records from Buffalo. And Bob Desbecker was kind of like a short, balding, I would say like 40-ish guy in those days, maybe 35 to 40-ish. And he had the worst complexion. He had this real dry, flaking, caking skin, you know. And every time I would see him, I'd think, oh, God, that is the most unappealing looking, it's a bad look, to coin a phrase. It's a look and not a good one. And here I am all these years later, and it goes to show you here, I was pointing the finger and saying, God, look at that. And now I look at him, oh, Jesus. And I got that caking, flaking. I got Bob Desbecker disease on my forehead. So it goes to show you, before you start pointing at everybody else and laughing your ass off because they look like a clown and like a freak and like crap and they got a very unappealing look, you better watch it because someday you'll look in the mirror, oh, Jesus Christ, I know that look. That's that Bob Desbecker look. Bad. See, it's not there right now. Now I look beautiful, but any minute it'll start. It just keeps coming back. Dry. I mean, so dry, like you wouldn't believe. I'm one of those people when I go to Vegas, everything I touch, you know, get the static electricity because it's so dry out there. Everything I touch like snaps, crackles, and pops. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Yeah, hey, Neil, what's going on?
Yes, sir.
First-time caller, and I've just been listening to you for a little while, and I like your opinions on the Catholic Church, so I was wondering if you had an opportunity to hear the latest that I guess a Kansas City paper has had on.
Yes, I did, sir. I began with quite a long segment on the beginning of the show, so 2 out of 10 is a good idea every day. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Pretty good.
First off, you know, I'm glad that I'm back in the town of at least the somewhat living, because I just got back from a trip to Tallahassee up there in Florida.
Yeah.
And it was the worst ever. I mean, I was dying. I mean, we had you up until we got to Tampa on the signal, and then we lost you on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to that radio up there on Friday. Oh, my God. I think you could put that NASCAR show up on down here. And
yeah, Joe Costello would be big up there, I'll tell you that. He better start getting simulcast.
I don't like NASCAR, but I think that show would probably be any more
Get
amusing.
a 90 share.
It's more amusing than I think than any show up there.
Mm-hmm.
They just keep going blah, 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 the whole time up there. It's ridiculous. But, you know, just want to say to you, we love you and everything like that. And, I want to talk about, and about that Elian thing and everything like that.
No, have a great day, pal. No, we're not talking about that anymore. I read the JICA article only because it said so well about the local media. But are we talking about that anymore? No. We had an E-free day on Friday, and I'm trying to ease away from that because there's nothing going on about it. There's nothing more to say. When something happens, when they have another hearing or Judge Hoover has a bad bowel movement or something goes on, okay, then we can talk about it. But, you know, since we're bitching and bellyaching about the fact we can't get away from it, I think we ought to take the ball by the horns. Isn't that the way they say it? Take your balls by the horns and show everybody the way. Let's get away from that stuff. Let's talk about important stuff like scaly skin. Now you're talking about irritable spastic colons and stuff like that. It's real stuff that really affects our lives, God damn it. As opposed to some spoiled little 6-year-old punky kid that doesn't mean a bag of beans to me. Here's North Miami. Hello.
Yes, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm really mad as hell, and I can't take it anymore.
About
the there really are fags in the church.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stand it when
all
they have is fat people on the TV being a fag, touching somebody's head.
Okay. Here's Fort Myers. Hello.
Excuse me, Neil. You were talking about Corey Salin?
Yeah.
He does have hair now.
That's what we just heard only moments ago. That's probably the conversation.
He looks like a perverse Dade County reptile, though.
Uh-huh.
And that's all I have.
Okay, thanks. Okay, they're just as full of it in Fort Myers as they are over here today, so feel, however that makes you feel, equal. 5670560. Where's that pie, by the way? We're not going to go through that again like we did last week, are we? Because that should be that was a little bit aggravating on Friday. I think I had a little twitch in my bowel from all the nervousness of waiting and anticipating. Yeah. And now that we know that it's going to be pretty good today, since he's not going to have to put it together here and potski around and put on his rubber gloves, if JR ever shows up, I bet you it's going to be dynamite. 5670560. Boy, I'm sure giving these numbers a lot today. Pounding those numbers. When in doubt, pound them out. They don't care. Yeah, about that thing that people are talking about too much. No, guess what? We're not talking about it. Tom Jicka and Carl Hyson, their column said it all, which I've already said. Nothing more needs to be said. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
Okay.
Did you find the biggest highlight of that game yesterday was when Al Michaels and Boomer Esiason made that comment about the owner of the Rams being married 7 times?
No, I didn't even hear that.
You didn't catch that?
No.
No, they said that this was her 7th husband that
what does
gave
that
her
mean?
the team.
Why is that significant?
I don't know, but she was spending a lot of time down on the field with all those guys right around after halftime. She blows.
Evidently. 5670560, pound 560 on the, you hear that?
All right.
That's what I thought he'd say. Oh, he'll be on tomorrow, by the way. Mandage, he'll be in the building. Maybe he'll have me an updated new, more naked picture of Tommy Brady for me to replace this old, rather worn out one that he brought me some time ago. Nice going there, Mad Dog. I was listening to him on Saturday, boy. That man is a trip. He is unbelievable. In fact, he was talking about, what's the guy's name? Jamal Washburn? Is that his name? That plays for, I always think, no, that's a Freudian slip because we used to have Steve Washburn on the Panthers, and this guy's name is Mashburn. And every time I'd hear that name, I think, what kind of a name is Mashburn? Is that like with a W upside down? But anyway, he said he definitely squats when he pees. Nice going there, Mad Dog. Mashburn squats when he pees. I'm going to pee my pants right there in the car. Listening to the amazing Mad Dog Mandage.
See, that man's a freak.
I know, evidently. 8 minutes after 1 at 560 WQM.
Wake up with the first team.
No.
DeForest and Steve Goldstein.
No.
Weekday mornings at 6. Only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Come on in and lay down on my couch.
Hi, this is Martina Navratilova. I may be retired from tennis, but that doesn't mean I still can't smell you. With my new fragrance, Martina, my smell will always be with me. Martina, a combination of fresh-cut woods and grass and my tennis ball. So even though I'm not playing tennis anymore, with Martina, you can still smell my balls in time. Martina, strong enough for me, but made for a woman.
113 at 560 WQM. Our good buddy JR, our close personal friend, is here from Godfathers, which for you slow people out there, Godfathers is attached. It's like Kitty, right with the Hess station there. How could you miss it? How could you not find it? Of course, we got a lot of people out there can't find it. So we have a beautiful lunch here today again. Once again, I'm sure this one will be even bigger and better than last week because we don't have to potski around and put it together. Now they won't run out of sour cream because we don't have to worry about taco pizza and we're having the Supreme today. Huh? No more than 20 or 30 pieces for me. Have no fear. And the best part of it was it not only tasted great, did it make me sick? No. It was delicious. Now that looks really outstanding. That looks like I feel like I did the right thing today. 5670560, and of course I know that Joe feels that I did the right thing because you see you wanted to say get, but you didn't want to feel like you were influencing me.
As long as you're healthy.
Oh man, talk about a Schmidt problem. 5670560, pound. What is it?
Subs too, we make subs.
They make subs too, and they got some Diet Pepsis for us here. What more could you want? What more could you want? But your good buddy, the Godfather, coming by with a nice lunch. Here's a mobile in Kendall. Hello. Okay, good one. That was and I think that was them, not us for a change. That wasn't us. That was them. Mobile in Boca. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hi. I'm a first-time listener, obviously a first-time caller. In reference to what the caller said about the Rams owner being married 7 times, I guess she's just a modern version of the old movie, She's One Bride for 7 Brothers. But, that's her problem, and this really has nothing to do with the Super Bowl.
No, or anything else.
The reason I'm calling you is, as I say, a first-time listener, I just happened to tune in at the top of the hour and heard that hysterical song that you led in with. How can I get a copy of that?
What song was that?
The one about the schlong, the swinging schlong.
How can you get a copy of it?
Yeah, is it possible, or
No.
is it? No, it's not. It's just an in-house song, and you have to listen to it.
Right. You have to keep listening to
great.
the show. That's the idea. We get you hooked on these things, and you say, God, he plays all those weird and funny things, and I better keep listening.
Exactly. It's hysterical. Keep
Right.
it up.
Okay, thanks,
Absolutely
pal.
needed the laugh.
God bless you.
Thanks.
There you go. There's a good guy. Never listened to the show before, and he tried and said, God, that's some funny stuff. Now, if we only had some real promotion out there, I know we got those TV spots coming up if we live long enough. What did I just say? What is it now? No, the food is here, and I got another hour and 45 minutes on this stupid show I got to do here. Do we care about this show now?
No.
Just give me the money and give us some nice free food. That's all. I've been doing this too goddamn long, 150 years. Just feed us and give us some bags and bags and bags of money and stop with these stupid memos, not for broadcast. I should have saved that. That was classic. Talk about people with ego problems getting a little carried away. Not for broadcast. Why? Is there any sense in that? Not for broadcast?
Why?
Because it's embarrassing that, as usual, another Greg Reed promise is going down the old crapper and he's full of it as usual. We're not surprised. Did I really expect that phone thing to be in here February 14th?
No.
No, of course not. So just calm down, Mr. Corso. Just relax. You're not a bad guy, and we understand that you fit in here like a glove. And look what happened to Andy Ass in the Woods, okay? There's a guy that came in here and tried to do a couple of things as PD, and they fired his ass out of here. And Joe, whatever his name is, was making a good point earlier off the air, is that if George Corso, our chief engineer, started ordering stuff and trying to do stuff in here, he'd be gone in a heartbeat, faster than you can say Greg Reed's an asshole. So he just does the best he can, which ain't much. It ain't much. Here's North Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, long-time listener. I love you, man. You're the greatest.
I'm a trip.
I think I got some help for your...
that bitch. What is it?
I think I got some help for your scaly skin.
All right.
Clinique turnaround lotion for men.
Clinique turnaround lotion for... Do you have to turn around to put it on?
Not really. It
I
comes
hope
in a little
not.
tube. It works great. It's kind of expensive.
Where do you get it?
You get it, yeah. This is the drag. You have to go to the mall and go to one of those stores and stand at the counter with the other ladies. But if you kind of jump in and tell them
With
what you
the
want.
other ladies?
You know, yeah, all the old ladies, they're sitting there and taking their time to make up and stuff.
Yeah.
But it works really well. Take a little bit, put it on. I travel a lot, and I use it because the planes drive me out. The hotel.
Why, do you have a dry skin problem?
Yeah, I do actually. But this really cures it. And it's non-allergenic, has no fragrance or anything to it.
I mean, this stuff, you can, wash it off. You can scrub, and, 20 minutes later, it's back again. Your skin is just, flaking off, and it looks like crap.
Yeah, try this stuff. I'm telling you, you'll love it.
Okay,
It'll work great.
I'm sure somebody will send me some or bring you some or something.
Okay, thanks a lot.
God
I
bless
love
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, let's reach right over here and dig in a little of this pie, because I'd hate to have it. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's the best part, is the toppings that get stuck to the top of the box. Oh, God. But there's a lot of cheese in there. Well, how come the cheese from the pizza on Friday didn't screw up my system? There was nothing wrong with it.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. You're rationalizing. If I get sick, it's on your ass, man. The audience, we got thousands and thousands of witnesses out there who remember an hour and a half ago when Joe Costello said, we better get that Godfather's in here today. I said, I don't think so, Joe. It's going to make me real sick. I'm feeling real good now. No, we better get it in here, because George might be back tomorrow and I won't have a chance for a free meal, which is a good point. I do understand that. Of course, with all the money, the big bucks that Joe's getting paid here, he needs the free meal. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
How you doing, Dale?
Great.
A couple questions about hockey, about the Panthers. You think we're going to have a goalie glut problem pretty soon? And
if Trevor Kidd comes back healthy, then they say goodbye to Shtelankov, I guess.
Yeah, because we have the expansion draft again this year,
Mm-hmm.
so we can only protect one goalie, is it, or can you protect two?
Two.
You can protect two then.
You can protect Kidd and Vernon and say Shtelankov bye-bye, back to our Moscow.
Okay.
Back to Siberia.
I've just been on the road for 3 weeks, and we're getting good press, at least, from the national press about the Panthers. I still think we need another scorer before the end of the season.
No, we don't need another scorer. We need defense. We need a defenseman who can play defense. Believe me, if Mike Vernon wouldn't have been standing on his head lately, this team would be in a little bit of trouble here lately.
Yeah, I was able to see one game was nationally broadcast while I was out of town. And then lastly, just a little weight thing. I had my stomach stapled 3 months ago. I'm down 100 pounds, and I haven't had an insulin shot since surgery.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's for those people that are, obviously obese, that are really obese, that have the surgery, but it's saved my life.
Okay.
It saved my life. Take it easy. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Bye.
5670560, pound 560 on the, and warning to you guys, I know it's a very controversial thing getting the stapling and all that other stuff if you're very, 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 like he said, obese. But I can tell you this, I don't know if it's going to work for you or not, but you won't smell any better. I can tell you that from Josh Friedman. You will not smell any better with or without the staples. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Fort Myers again. Hello.
Neil, good.
Yes, sir.
Hey, speaking of, right here, Shambi.
He's what?
Shambi, not only is he that big, he's got red hair.
Yeah. Orange. No, he has orange hair.
Oh, is there any other job that person should have other than radio?
That's right. He's got a body for, and just like me, a body and a face for radio. Oh, he has lost some weight lately. Nice going there, Books. Keep it up. You'll be down to 400 in no time.
Hey, I got to agree. Also, Boomer, stale.
Terrible. He is brutal.
He must get an extra a bonus money for every time in the second half that guy said momentum.
He must have naked pictures of all the executives at ABC Sports, because I'm going to tell you, just to audition him, just to hear him once, not to know that he's just terminal, an instant tune-out. What are these people thinking about? And to think that they took off Deerdorf, which I'm not that big a fan of his, but I mean, to compare the two, Deerdorf is phenomenal compared to the Boomer.
Oh, big time. I thought Deerdorf was all right.
Yeah, he was okay, and at least he's articulate, and he has that little personality and a sense of humor, and he doesn't look like he's ready to jump out of the booth because he's nervous as all hell.
Yeah.
Lower the boom on the Boomer.
Exactly. He's so repetitive.
Right.
And one last thing on TRL. What a joke, too. I mean, it's supposed to be MTV, play videos. They play 2 minutes, and then they go to all the screaming little kids.
Right.
What a joke.
Quit interrupting the damn video with all these little kids there with their finger in their body parts, squealing and carrying on. And then when the video, has got another minute to go and they fade it out, and, they waste all this time in between, diddling. If you're going to play the video, at least the number one, play the whole thing.
Once again, I agree with you. Across the board, Uncle Neil.
God bless you, sir.
Yeah.
God bless us. I'll pray for him. Come on, get a piece out of here, will you? Forget about the radio show. Joel put something on here to kill some time. Get you a nice little piece. Oh, look at that.
One moment, please.
Oh, is that beautiful or what? And these people that were calling saying, "Oh, Godfather's ain't like he used to be." Well, you don't know squat. Think I'm having a relapse? No, I'm not. That is damn good. That is out effing standard. And we're not going to be doing this again for a long time, I'll tell you that. Do you believe me?
No.
Huh?
I did get a spy report that the Godfathers ran out of
sour cream
stuff yesterday, yeah.
Because of me. Because I talked about the taco pizza, which they have to use the sour cream on. And JR said that I made him run out of sour cream. And I said, I got some. Squirt. Sour cream. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I hear Corey tried that line the other night, too. Didn't work for him, is what I heard. That's the rumor. I mean, Clarence. Did I say Corey? See, it's all the same person to me now. Hank has done that to me. They're all the same person because nobody here goes by their real name. I hate fake names. Like,
Oh, God!
Like that one, too. No, do you have any idea how confusing? Because, first of all, when I came here, you got Jason and Josh. Everybody's with a J. Who's with a J? Josh and Jason and Josh and,
Joe.
And Joe. And Joe Mama. And, how can you separate one from the other? Of course, I could always separate because of the nose. Here's Davey. Hello.
The operator doesn't go over the address. Hold on.
Neil. She'll go over the address. Tell him to calm down. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, did you see the Tyson fight? Verified. Sorry,
no, I did not.
Really?
Why would anybody watch that?
Oh, I had no choice. It was on ESPN.
I mean, if you have 3 or 4 minutes to spare, because that's about how long it lasted, about 4.5 minutes. I mean, what was there to see? This other guy, I'm in better shape than the guy that he fought.
Yeah. Well, we're some schmuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, that's all you can get Tyson to fight these days anyways, are schmucks,
And it goes to show you that the whole world loves a scumbag, because the British over there were sucking up to him. It was disgusting.
Yeah, well, he's silly, He's got that wacky religion to follow,
Yeah, everybody loves a scumbag. Okay, pal, have a great day. I'm glad he mentioned that. $8 million he made again for that. $8 million because the world loves a scumbag. There's a real good message for all your kids out there. The bigger the scumbag you are, and let me say it again, yesterday, Channel 7, they finally got a different topic for a couple of minutes. That fruitcake, Craig, what's his name? The paperboy, Craig Stevens, he's on there hyperventilating and they're showing, there's OJ at the airport.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's back in town for a few days. God. And they're thinking about moving here, and he admits he's going to move here is because they can't repo your this and repo your that. That's why he's coming here, because he doesn't want to pay all that money up that they awarded in the California courts. So any way he can get out of it. How do you like that? They can't garnish you your wages. They can't repo this. They can't do that. Although I thought it was kind of interesting when he said,
"Kill Nicole."
That was kind of not a revelation, but kind of interesting coming from him. We hate you, OJ. Go away. And they showed the guy in the one Coral Gables by the sea. We don't want him living here. And over there in Weston, we don't want him living here. Nobody wants you here except maybe
Roy.
So maybe take him back with you, okay? The two of you can elope together. He's got a lot of time on his hands now. And by the way, for those people out there in the audience who keep track of our sales department and miss,
Roy.
We got a new ex-jock there. Seems like a decent guy. Troy Stratford, is that his name? Former Dolphin running back. I said to Joe this morning, I said, who is that? And he said, oh, don't you remember him?
No.
No. Troy Stratford. He's about 2 feet tall. Weighs about, he looks kind of like a male, dark-complected male Christina Aguilera. Weighs about 18 pounds soaking wet. But I think he'll make a more pleasant presentation going out and seeing salespeople than,
Roy!
He was a little bit, ominous. You know what I mean? Like, scary guy. 26 past 1 at 560 WQAM. That's what Screw Ann said. She said he had something that was real scary.
Only one South Florida radio station has the hammer. And you're listening to it at Goldberg. Weekday afternoons at 2. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Hi, this is Paul Oz of the Florida Panthers. You're listening to Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560. Oi!
OJ!
Oi!
You killed Nicole! You killed Nicole! OJ! You killed Nicole! You killed Nicole! I killed Nicole! I killed Nicole! I killed Nicole!
That night, when she turned off all the lights, there's no place where she could hide. Oh no, OJ was gonna get her. OJ went out to kill 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 her. That night. One day, the jury's gonna set free OJ. For all we know, he's gonna head your way, hey. Oh yeah, and OJ's gonna get ya. It's true, OJ is gonna come after you.
Yes.
And then he'll get away with that one too. Oh yeah, OJ's gonna get ya. OJ's gonna get you. OJ's gonna get you. OJ's gonna get you. OJ's gonna get you. One night.
OJ. You killed Nicole. You killed Nicole. OJ. You killed Nicole. I killed Nicole. I killed Nicole. I killed Nicole.
OJ's gonna get you. OJ's gonna get you. OJ's gonna get you. OJ's gonna get you.
So anyway, yesterday during this grotesque piece on Channel 7 News, which I will keep watching Channel 7 News, won't I?
Uh-huh.
See, I threatened to turn it off, but because I do this show, I can't afford to turn it off. Because look at all the material we get, bitching about how bad it is and about Rick Snatches and all that other crap, and the weather theory. But he kept referring to Nicole as his ex-wife. Well, my ex-wife this, and she liked the house like this one, and then somebody killed her, though, and somebody killed his ex-wife. Stay the hell away, OJ. And I want to say it for the 8 millionth time, but I want to emphasize it, underline it, and put it up as a big headline. When he was here for that unctuous golf tournament last September 24. By the way, did anybody ever get that other $1,150 that was supposed to go to Center One?
No.
Oh. When he was here and that crap was going down, anybody and everybody that went to him for autographs, handshaking, sucking up to him, you're as much of a scumbag as he is, okay? I want to make that very, very clear, including some of the people in this building. I don't want to mention Screw-Ann by name or he ain't here no more. Or Sam, because he also ain't here no more. I wonder if that's just a coincidence or what?
No.
Huh? People who suck up to scumbags are scumbags. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Little Havana. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Neil Rogers. How are you today, sir?
Great.
One thing I want to mention to you, I'll be quick about this. It's the first time I've called you. I love your show. My workers and I, we adore you. You know?
All right. Great.
All right, yeah.
You got some serious taste over there, mister.
Oh, man, and the sour cream on the pizza is excellent. Listen,
Did you have that?
No, I did not, but I've done it before.
I'll bet. And the pizza
Oh,
too.
yeah. And I eat it, and I eat it too.
Uh-huh.
Seriously, first time I heard your show, I thought I'd mention this now because the space shuttle is about to launch. And the first time I heard your show, I was coming right after Hurricane Andrew, listening to you coming down the turnpike.
Right.
And you were talking about sex in outer space. And there was a woman on the craft that went up, and they denied that they were going to use that as they were talking about they wouldn't admit it, but I bet you it's going on. Mm-hmm. And also the space station Mir, they're going to fix that up and they're going to make it into a hotel by the year 2010.
Yeah.
So there will probably be sex in outer space.
Probably once they get between Jupiter and Uranus, I think is when it's going to start.
Rectum.
Yeah.
Right up there.
You
right
got it.
There. So, let's hope, it'd be great.
If that's the case, though, they better get somebody a little younger than John Glenn on up there. You know what I'm saying? Either that or maybe Bob Dole will give him a helping hand.
You're excellent. I love you.
Have a great day, amigo.
You too.
Arrivederci. He loves me. Well, there's Julios. 5670560. In fact, George is the only one I ever know, and thank God, because in his case, does it make a difference?
No.
Him and Miguel. Of course, Miguel denies it a lot. 567. Did you ever take Miguel to the swing club with you? Well, he's got a steady girlfriend. He's not going to go there. Well, of course, so do you. And George has got a wife. What difference does it make? The school teacher that got all the problem there, that wonderful, lovely lady that got screwed over by the Broward School Board, she was there with her fiancé. She wasn't just diddling strangers in there, just walking in. Not that there'd be anything wrong if she were, but it just so happened she was there with her fiancé. So Miguel could probably go to the swing club with his fiancé.
He's not allowed to go.
And hang out? Why not?
Because his boss goes there.
His boss, whose last name is the same as my boss? You mean Chris Reed? Chris Reed, the nephew of Greg Reed, goes to that swing club, although we're not supposed to put this on the air. Does his fiancée know about this?
No.
Does she go with him, I hope? Oh, that's right, she does. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. So you got to be very careful with what you say, because I'll blurt it right on the air. Not with bad intentions necessarily, because Chris is a pretty good guy. He never stole a freight train. He's okay, especially considering the gene problem he has to overcome. Here's Hialeah. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
Neil, you're absolutely right about the pop music of today, especially with that female singer Aguilera. She is absolutely...
Now, wait a minute. I didn't say about the pop music of today in general, because now you're going to step on 98 degrees, and anybody going to step on 98 degrees is going to have to step over my fat, ugly body, I'll tell you that.
Well, but Aguilera...
Nick Locker's got more talent in one finger than most of these other Jenny-come-latelys put together.
Absolutely.
He does.
Pop music...
Well, what do you mean absolutely? You don't know from 98 degrees.
Oh, I know about pop music today.
All right. Well, name me a song by 98 degrees.
Well, no, I can't name a song, but I can't name a song. I'm sorry, but
okay.
Pop music is in a bad state today. It's all that curly Q. It's baby music. I don't know what the hell's going on with pop music today.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. It
okay. Well, when you figure it out, call us back and let us know. Do you say the same thing 6,000 times?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Pop this. Okay, pal.
Squirt.
Go pop it. Is he messing around with 98 degrees? And you better not open up a mouth about 98 degrees, or that's the last slice of pizza you're getting from me. Oh, you know who don't like 98 degrees? Robert Grieper. Yeah, he don't like 98 degrees, which tells me they must be pretty good.
He likes all that satanic heavy metal bang your head.
Robert Grieper?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just the kind, just a little nerd like him is the kind real dangerous that's going to come and shoot up the whole place someday. You mark my words. Now, it won't be somebody that used to look real freaky like Tommy or like, what's his name downstairs with, Carlos?
Squirt, squirt.
Well, maybe not that freaky. It'll be somebody who's real nerdy like, Robert Grieper, somebody will come in here with a 9mm and start blowing it.
Squirt, squirt.
All over the place. I got news for you, Robert. You're not bad for a little Jewish kid, and you're a nice going get that door open for me here in the morning. Yeah, he takes care of stuff. He's probably in here stealing stuff, but he's okay. But you start picking on 98 degrees again, Robert, and you're going to be having real serious problems, man. You're going to wind up with a horse's head in your bed. All kinds of stuff going to happen. Speaking of Godfather, this is very good, by the way, isn't it? The audience can't hear you nod. You're supposed to come out here and say, yes, yes, sir.
Very good.
Yeah. The super combo for real pigs like us. And see, this is bad if you got IBS because look at all the stuff. It's got beef, pepperoni, sausage, ham, onions, cheddar cheese, black olives, mushrooms, green peppers, tomatoes, mozzarella cheese. But this is all I'm going to eat is these 15, 20 pieces here today, and that's it for the whole day.
And those subs there.
You can take those home. What?
Okay.
You don't want to take them home?
I do.
Well, there you go. It's one of the perks of being here today. Give me a little, what? Christ, if I ate all the food that comes in here, there'd be a big piano box over there, and I'd be in it. Oh, yeah, remember Neil? He's in there. 21 till 2 at 560 QAM.
This is 560 QAM.
Hi, this is G. Gordon Liddy, and they don't come any worse than Neil Rogers. Hello, this is Bob Dole. You know, a few years ago, I had prostate surgery. Initially, I was worried simply about recovering. Then I began to worry about the post-operative side effects like erectile dysfunction, ED, sometimes known as impotence, also referred to as whiskey wiener, leg of limp, soft serve, down periscope, wobbly willy, flaccid flagpole, heading south, spaghetti syndrome, limp biscuit, ding dong, the witch is dead. But there is help. You need to see a doctor. With a little courage and proper treatment, he can help you achieve an erection, sometimes known as a boner. Often referred to as a stiffy, hard time, pocket rocket, granite gumdrop, concrete crawler, roll of quarters, a chubby, pitching a tent, or being harder than Chinese algebra. And when you do get help, there's no reason to be ashamed, because there's now hope for men and their partners. Hope that they'll soon be able to have intercourse, sometimes known as sex, often referred to as the Humpty Dance, bumping uglies, hiding the salami, splitting the uprights, the tube steak boogie, getting some on you, mashing nads, taking a trip to the mound. So remember, it's a little embarrassing to talk about, but with a little courage and a few creative euphemisms, you too can leave behind the soft rock, get yourself some hard salami, and ride the baloney pony into a bright new future. I'm Bob Dole. Thank you.
17 till 2 at 560. I'm very depressed about what you just told me about poor Miguel, who can't go to the swing club because his boss, Chris Reed, goes there himself. I mean, seriously, I can only look at it from my perspective because I'm sure you'd be rather indifferent. But if you had an opportunity to go into that back room there and watch Miguel getting it on with his girlfriend, or watch Chris Reed doing it with like even an iguana or anything, I mean, is there any contest as to what would be more interesting to watch? No. In fact, just sitting here thinking, I mean, I don't want to, say it too loud like on the air or anything, but the idea of watching Chris Reed participate, I mean, I'm eating a nice lunch. I shouldn't be talking about this because it's starting to like back up a little bit. Huh?
You don't know what you say.
I do know what I say. Believe me, I do know Jose. But then again, Miguel's a little on the shy side. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Plus, of course, he's concerned about important things like what's going on down there on the Little Havana. He'll be all right. We'll loosen him up a little bit. Here's Miami. We've got 600 open lines. Hello. Miami. Okay, they're diddling with him. One last call on the board, and that's it. When I finally woke these people out of their lethargy, we actually had a little, somewhere in there along the line, we had a few calls. After a very rocky start this morning, a desperate start, probably because most of these people are hiding from their bookies after yesterday. Now, what was the point spread on that game yesterday? Do we have any idea? You don't know, and you work on the Sports Nerd station? It was St. Louis by, 11 or something like that? I don't think they covered. They won by a touchdown. I don't think they covered. But anyway, not that I care about those things, but if that's the case, there could be a lot of people out there, like, contemplating dangerous things. Here's Pompano. Hello.
Spread was 7.
What is it?
The spread was 7.
Oh, 7. So it's a push.
The bookies won everything.
It's a what?
The bookies won all the money. They took all of Depot's money.
Good,
Spread
excellent.
7.
That'll teach him.
I'd like to talk to you for a second about Hiddleston's pass, the two-line pass Saturday. Do you think that was a very good move on his part?
The two-line pass? I didn't see it. I wasn't here.
And on the second one, I'd like to, on the blue line.
Let me ask you this question, sir.
If you pass
Sir, let me ask you something. What was the final score in the game on Saturday?
3-1.
It was?
3-2.
No.
If Burry was
What was the final score in the game Saturday, sir?
If Burry was
Can't tell me the score. Panthers won over Edmonton 2-1. And this guy's complaining. See, that would be like my calling up and saying, oh, gee, the Leafs keep getting off to bad starts in these games. They were down 2-0 to LA there on Saturday. Did they win the game? Nice going, Stevie Thomas. He's hot as a pistol. Stumpy, nice going, sweetheart. Scored the winning goal with 19 seconds to go. See, you don't complain when you win. But this town, wah, wah, wah. You're a bunch of crybabies, okay? Bunch of crybabies, and don't be messing with my close, best personal friend, Brett Hedican, okay?
Hi, this is Brett Hedican, and you're listening to South Florida's #1 hockey fan, Neil Rogers, on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
All right. He's got the kind of like disc jockey, Rocky Roly hockey sound, eh? Maybe he ought to be playing roller hockey. It's okay in my book, that Brett Hedican.
Let's get him on the air.
Oh, and speaking of okay in my book, as I was watching the Super Bowl yesterday, because I keep hearing these nerds, with a Danny and Jimmy, and now Jimmy's gone, so now it's Danny and Danny. And who are they talking about should be the next quarterback that they might make a deal for? Trent Green. Did you see Trent Green on the sidelines yesterday? Speaking of seeing people naked at the swing club that you'd like to. I mean, I've seen Trent Green before, and I knew he was pretty good looking. But in football, you always see these guys with their helmets on, so you really aren't. You're not that positive until you get a naked picture like Tommy Brady, the one that Mad Dog left me here. And I thought to myself, God, if there's one way, of course you won't be too happy about it because you like those free. Yeah, bad news, Joe. Bad news for Joe Costello. Got all my Dolphin tickets this past season because I'm sick and tired of going to that boring crap. But one way to get me back to PP Park would be Trent Green at quarterback.
He is a stud.
There you go. He is a stud. He's no Tommy Brady, but he is a stud. He could play on my team any day of the week. Trent Green. We want Trent Green right now. Davey and Trent. Trent and Davey. 5670560, pound 560. Plus, he's a good quarterback, too. He's a hell of a good quarterback. He just don't have the faith in the Lord like Kurt does. Here's a mobile in West Palm Beach. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Great.
One Tuesday morning a few weeks ago, I was listening to the worst team, and
that was a bad move.
Yeah, right. Well, they're talking Jimmy, Danny, Jimmy, same old thing.
Yeah.
So I switch over to the fan, and he's talking about Boomer Esiason today, and he calls Imus about him making fun of him and Al Michaels on the air and blah, blah, blah. So it happens that Boomer calls from a hotel. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. He's complaining to Imus about something. So then Boomer goes, hold on, Imus, I got somebody here who wants to talk to you. And it's Al Michaels. He gets on the line, starts, saying the same thing about being complained about and making fun of and whatnot. And Imus turns around and says, you know what the scary thing about this is? Why is Al Michaels in your hotel room at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, excellent. Good point. Nice going, Imus. It's amazing. A dead man in a suit like the I-Man actually came up with a line. Nice going there, Don.
So now you know why Boomer's there. He's Al Michaels' bitch. So.
They're tight. Okay, thanks. They used to be tight. Yeah, the Boomer blows, okay? Get him out of there. The Boomer needs to go. Lower the boom on the Boomer. Bring back, not that I really care because I don't watch most of that stuff anyway. So how about those bad passes in the game even though the Panthers won again? Montreal Canadiens this Wednesday. I'll be there. Will you be there?
No.
No. You going to be there? No. Why not?
Same as always.
Because you don't have tickets?
That's right.
Well, why don't you get Rimmer to get you some tickets? Or why don't we get our friend Mike Hansen? Mike Hansen is a sweetheart. He's a great guy. He and Steve Dangerfield are the two guys in that organization who appreciate what I do for hockey and for Florida Panther hockey. They will get you some tickets, a pair. They'll get you a pair, even bigger than Ray Whitney's got, if that's possible. They'll get you a pair for Wednesday's game. Or else. Huh?
That's great. Whenever I...
Mark my words. If Mike Hansen don't come through now, I'm going to tell the people about his bad toupee. 10 before 2 at 560 QAM.
This is 560 QAM. Ed Kaplan knows the scores. Starting at 10 till the last game ends. Weeknights only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
They play like men and they look like women. The Mad Dog is out of control, and you'll find out why when you hear the latest release from Blockbuster Entertainment. Jim Mandich sings duets.
Well, all right. Riding around in the streets. Well, all right.
Hear the Mad Dog, Jim Mandich, sing classic rock.
All right. All right.
Jim said he felt a little bit foolish.
Kind of like a eunuch in a whorehouse.
But now, he says,
I like it. I like it.
The Mad Dog just can't kiss enough of that cottage cheese butt.
If he wants me to sing God Bless America and pasties and the G-string up here, I'll do it.
You got soul, and everybody knows that it's all right. All right.
Listen to the Mad Dog sing himself happy.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right.
Jim Mandich sings duets, available now at all Blockbuster stores.
Very good. Excellent. There's Jono's Tighten Up by Archie Bell and Drells is the parody. 567-0560, pound 560 on the 18th. I can't believe you don't know Nobody But Me by the Human Beings. If you heard the beginning of it, you'd know, but I can't sing. Look, Brian will bring it in for you. Look at this. We got 2 calls to kill 5 minutes. Is that going to cut it?
No.
Got a book in the mail here from one of these penny-ass publishers that want us to put guests on here. Do we put guests on?
No.
Opening to Love, 365 days a year. Definitely save this for Clarence, who's desperately searching for that opening. Only once. Got to start somewhere. 567-0560, pound 560. And also we get, talking about taking a lot of food home out of here, which Joe will do today, from our friends at Pull My Finger Enterprises in, where are they? Somewhere. In Los Angeles, no less. That sent us the stuff with all the fart sounds on it last year, all those hundreds of them. Now they have sarcastic, it says, unfortunate fortune cookies, which the fortunes in them are, mildly amusing at best. But here's a whole bunch of fortune cookies for you, boxes and boxes of them. So you got sub sandwiches. We got like 2 whole gigantic pizzas here from Godfather's. Do we know how to do it on this show or what?
Uh-huh.
Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes,
Couple
sir.
quick things. One is the guy who said the line was 7 and so the bookies cleaned up. He was right. The line was 7, but that's a push. The bookies don't clean
That's
up.
what I said. I kept trying to say it's a push, but he wasn't listening.
Oh, I didn't hear you. And
because he wouldn't shut up.
Yeah, you were just speaking of fortune cookies. And I went to a Chinese restaurant recently, and I eat, and then I open my fortune cookie, and it says, everybody hates you. It did. I never got one like that
Really?
before.
Oh, it must be one of these, because they're like regular fortune cookies, but they got sarcastic fortunes inside.
I'm only kidding. I just made that up.
Well,
and then the last
I'll
thing,
guarantee you there'll be one of those in this box. Guarantee.
yeah, there should be.
Yeah.
The last one is this. I heard one of you guys, I think it was Boog, like a year ago, but it was funny. He says, he said, you always see those guys when they score a touchdown or something saying, and they stop praising God. And he said, but you never see him say, geez, everything was going fine until Jesus made me fumble.
Right, exactly. Okay, have a great day, pal. Goes to show the Titans just aren't lordly enough. That's their problem. They're not saying the right prayers. They don't have the right goddamn bat line phone number. Isaac, Bruce, Isaac, whatever his name is. Man, oh man, one of 85 children from Fort Lauderdale. Well, all he has to do is yell out, Jesus, and that freight train will stop right there on the tracks, right dead in its track. That's what happened yesterday. In fact, I'm really surprised Al Michaels and the Boomer, marginal as he is, missing out. If they would have had the audio down, the on-field microphones cranked up, you could have heard when that touchdown pass from Kurt Warner. In fact, it was from God to Jesus to Moses. That's right. All they needed was little Elián out there in the middle to be the pimp, the middleman, the intermediary. Here's Kendall. Hello. Kendall. Dead as a doornail in Kendall. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
That last guy that just called, I think he's a big jerk. And
Why is that?
second of all,
why is that? Yeah, loser, chronic loser. Loser, you could smell it right over the phone, pal. You better start doing something about that. You could smell you right over the phone. Sounds like a Julio Josh Friedman. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Hey, listen, we'd like to get that last minute and a half going here so we can eat the rest of this Godfathers, damn it. Yeah, don't you hate when that happens? Like you want to speed that clock up, move it ahead. Like in a hockey game, you got a 1-goal lead, about 7 minutes to go, and you keep thinking, come on, get that clock on, like double up the speed there, zip it along, because we're sure not going to score.